Oops. How's everyone doing? We all in here? Where are we? Where are we? Okay. There. Oh, there. A little earlier than normal, aren't I? Oh. Oh, yeah. Probably oughta. Boop. Boop. Okay. Got a couple things to be going over. Got some. Probably need to go here and pull up Candace's video, don't I? Let's see. Is it gonna be? Sure, she's gonna stream. Oh, today's Friday. She doesn't stream today, does she? So I can just go over this easy. Okay. Cool. I was actually a little. We're gonna have some extra time today, guys. It's gonna be crazy. Because she doesn't stop to find Charlie Kirk's killer. Except for on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, he's not actually dead. It says metaphorically on there. He was metaphorically killed on Twitch. And it's BS. It's amazing what happened. Wait till you find out what happened. It's unbelievable. Like, doing that to Ricky Berwick, it's completely psychotic. If I were them, I wouldn't hitch. It's not a good idea, Twitch. People don't like picking on cripples. Genuinely. Like, it's funny until you actually, like, do something that's like, oh, wait, really? Like, it's completely unbelievable. This is gonna give Twitch probably one of the bigger backlashes. Because he didn't do anything wrong. At all. As per usual. So, He said his version of... he said his version of the N-word. I guess you could say. And they banned him. Like a bunch of cowards. That were afraid of cripples. Ooh, man. How's everyone doing today, though? Everything going good? I expect a lot of people will probably be pouring in at about 4:30. Normally when I do this stuff. And, normally when I, get everyone's attention. Going on over here. Is there anything going on today, by the way, guys? Like, I've seen this video. What the heck? Breaking. Criminal alien fakes the seizure as ICE tries to pull him in front of his car. Watch how he jerks the child around. Oh, he's got a baby. That's smart. Didn't I see this video? I don't know. Psychotic. Wow. There's that. Is there anything wild going on today? What do we got? What do we got? We got 6 people in here. I'm probably going to go ahead and start then. Yeah. Go ahead and get this going. So Ricky Berwick here. How do we want to talk about this? I think I'm gonna have you guys watch me record videos. Ah, he got carried off by wreck. Power of AI now, huh? It's pretty funny. Let's see. Okay. This is pretty unbelievable. Pretty unbelievable. Ooh. Go ahead and record this. Like, was there an actual Streamer bands. Previous ban was 2023. Why is this guy laughing about this? He not like Ricky Berwick or something? Curious. I'm gonna find out first. Ricky Berwick. Okay. Ricky. Huh. I have no idea his contact. Is this just like a bot that looks like a real guy? It doesn't make any sense. Why did he retweet this with LMFAO? Like, there's no context whatsoever. You know what I mean? What if Ricky is not... I don't think... Is Ricky very controversial? Man, thank God that's worse shocking... that's worse than shocking a dog. Thanks, Twitch. Exactly. Supposedly, Kanye apologized to a rabbi in France. I saw that. I thought it was weird. I didn't know what to make of it. Yeah, I saw that, that's crazy. Kanye's Jew apology was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's that crazy. Because he was saying actually some really bad stuff. You know, he was saying how much he liked, and now I couldn't take him serious because the way he was doing it, he was going, I like him, you know, doing all that high-pitched voice stuff and saying he likes the main bad guy from World War II. So I was like, is he like just trolling? Like, what's he doing? Or is he actually having a mental break? Or I don't know. It was really weird. It was very strange. But I don't know if going up to a random Jew and apologizing is exactly the way that like works. I think you just come out and make a statement. You got to go. What do you got to just go kiss a Jew? Does that just absolve you of your crimes? That's amazing. That's hilarious. I'd like to think it does. Like, if you just want to get out of, like, you know, you could spend 13 months in jail for robbing this bank, you know, or you could just go kiss this Jew, something like that. That'd be very funny. To be like, what the, like, is there any downside kissing the Jew? No, you just got to do it. Okay, you know, am I going to get a disease? No, not at all. No, you just got to do this. It's like, what? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really funny. I'd like to think that that's how the world works. Ricky Bobby. Oh, I always say Ricky from, what is that show called? The Trailer Park Boys. Amazing, you know? Anyone got the reference, but yeah, I love that show. Very funny. Ricky Bobby is very funny as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird. Hit is weird. I'll go over that video. I'll go over the whole, like, let's type it in. Kanye Jew. I probably should not have typed that in. Oh, it did bring it up. Wow. All right. Ye apologizes to Rabbi Yoshiyahu Yosef Pinto for anti-Semitic remarks. What, did he direct him directly at this guy? Weird to apologize to a guy for it, you know? Blames bipolar disorder. He did look like he was having an episode, though. I mean, who speaks high-pitched like that? And has a net in a Yoo-hoo bottle. Who does that? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it looked like a mental break. I don't know. I mean, he could have been forced to do it. Who knows? I wonder if he was forced to ride the gauntlet there with Nick Fuentes and tour around with him. Because it makes sense, right? Like, look at how controlled Kanye is, right? Why was he not under control for Nick Fuentes? Unless Nick Fuentes is a Fed. You see what I'm saying? Like, isn't that a little weird? Like, he just broke out briefly to go and embarrass himself on the world to say that he likes, what, the most renowned evil person on the planet? I feel like that'd be a walk of shame. And, like, feds were like, you're going to do this. You're going to go out there to the world, and you're going to say you like the most despicable person on the planet. And then you're going to go around on all these right-wing podcasts and make them look bad. I felt bad for Alex Jones. I was cringing the whole time when Kanye was up there doing all that stuff. And I was like, dude, somebody, like, it was an obvious, like, Fed to me. You know what I mean? It was obvious to me that Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones were there, or Nick Fuentes and Kanye West were there to make Alex Jones look absolutely horrific. That's what they were trying to do. I have no doubt. They did the same thing on Tim Pool, and I think Tim Pool just didn't fall for it. And I think they got out of there because they were not going to be able to make Tim Pool look bad. I think they knew Tim Pool would have pushed back hard on that and would have probably even gotten, may even cussed him out a little bit. We saw Tim Pool do that a couple of times with some pretty famous people that he looked up to. Look at Raw the Rugged whatever guy, you know what I mean? Like, he loved that dude. And they got into a shouting match, you know what I mean? I don't think he would have, I think he would have actually pushed back on Kanye if Kanye started saying that. And I think Nick Fuentes read the room and was like, we gotta go. You know what I mean? We can't be in here for long. That was probably the best way they knew how to make Tim look bad. Think about it. Every podcast they went on, every one, with Nick Fuentes and Kanye, they absolutely tried to sabotage. Every single one. Nobody questioned that. Why? Why was nobody questioning that? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, at the time, I think people were questioning it. But why is nobody questioning it today? It's like they've forgotten. They're all hailing Nick Fuentes now. And it's like, did you guys forget that whole charade? You know what I mean? It's a little weird to me. It's a little strange. So Kanye coming out and having to apologize and stuff, I feel like is still them making the rounds. You know what I mean? Like, now Kanye's like, oh, I shouldn't have went on these shows and stuff. People aren't going to remember that the people who hosted them got clowned on. They're just going to remember that these right-wingers hosted Kanye West, who is now saying he was wrong to do that. Think about the optics. Do you think people are going to remember all that stuff? They're not in this space. They just catch clips. And then they move on with their day. And then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I think I remember something about him going on to Alex Jones. He was saying what on there? And they're like, yeah, he was saying how much he liked the big bad guy from World War II. On Alex Jones? Oh, of course it would be on Alex Jones. Then they're going to follow up with, it made Alex Jones very uncomfortable. And Alex Jones was pushing back a bit. But I think Alex Jones was so caught off guard. You know what I mean? He was so caught off guard by it. He was like stunned. It's a very shocking thing for a dude to go in there and just start proclaiming that the main bad guy from World War II was a good guy, you know? It's kind of strange, and how he had Net and Yoo-Hoo. That's it. It's crazy, right? I don't know. I feel like this whole round is just a psyop with Kanye West, and Kanye West is just trapped. I think he's trapped. That or he's just super mentally ill. Who knows? But at the end of the day, here's what it is. He apologized to this man right here. Glad every time Kanye, I like to think that Kanye was like, I need to find the person in my head that I was making all these insults towards. That one will do. You know what I mean? It's like, holy crap, dude. That'd be very funny. I'd want to see the behind the scenes on that. Just as like, yeah, this is exactly what I thought. Oh, man, that'd be very funny. So let's watch the video, I guess.
I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have.
How many of you guys think this man even actually really knows who he's talking to? And how many of you guys actually think that this dude here has seen any of the clips that Kanye's even talking about? Not only do I don't think he knows anything about Kanye, really, other than the moment before he was told, but also I really doubt anybody just started showing him any of those old clips. You know what I mean? I don't think this guy, like, he's receiving an apology, and this guy's, like, probably just sitting here thinking, I guess I'm just doing this right now.
Like, take them to an extreme.
What is going
where
on?
I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself.
So she might be on today? Oh, we'll see then. Okay. Hopefully that's the
So
case.
I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease.
Man, Are you telling me that this old man does not know what, back in his day, which would have been like what, the 1970s, 1980s, you know, probably, if I had to guess, 1960s to 1980s somewhere. It's probably this guy's prime. Back then, they used to call it manic depression. Do you guys, that's such a weird, like, he's explaining it word for word. It seems so staged, you know? It really does. It seems very staged to me. And the way he's talking seems like he is drugged up. You know what I mean? I feel like they are hitting him with the SSRIs like harder than Israel hit what's it called today? Over in Lebanon. Lebanon. There we go. No, not Lebanon. Was it Lebanon? Did they hit Lebanon? I think they hit Lebanon, right?
So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage.
Man, it's always weird because Kanye will start babbling. I've noticed this about him. He'll babble about something that doesn't sound like it's going to make sense at all. And then he'll do a pretty good punchline at the end of it. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where you were going now. He can be so hard to follow at times. Just I don't know why. It's like he tells a joke backwards, but it works in a way. It's kind of funny. But he's very stoic.
It's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
You are banished. Just wizard stick. Oh, come on. Somebody edit that. Somebody do that, please. Like, with AI or something.
To the world
just
a way for someone when he regret about something that he have done wrong. And
wait, a rabbi, a priest, and Kanye walk into a bar. One breaks his nose. One breaks a kid's nose, and the other breaks his own. Well, I can't say that last part. But you guys know the order.
Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, you can regret and fix it. And the rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing, and from now on,
don't do it again. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. What kind of a threat would they make? Don't do it again or we'll bomb you. We'll bomb right into your house. What was that? Something just... Okay. That was weird. Someone just tried to call me. Spam? Okay. Some spam call. Ah, I'm so tired of those. Trump, fix that. Get the FTC on this or something. I don't know. I'm tired of these spam calls.
Strong things and good things.
It's crazy. He should just, like, get it done. Sanction those countries.
You are a very good man.
Amen. That's the best, man. Yeah,
he received the shaking Jew blessing, so it's like, you know, and he's good with it now. I guess that's what they do. I don't know. I wonder how many, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, do all the Jews unify and forgive him now? How does this work? They should have made him dance or something. You know, I don't know. Let's see. How long until he announces is now a Jew from the hood? I have no idea. It's probably, I don't know. I have no idea. Give it 2 months. Let's see. Hate to go. Oh, no, you're good, man. Thank you for stopping by, Matt. I appreciate it. So, anyway, that's me. I'm going to probably clip this out, put it on as its own separate video. People should join me on the live stream if they're watching the video. That'd be absolutely awesome. And subscribe and like. Be amazing. Thank you all. Anyway, I'm gonna now move on to the next topic, I guess. So, oh, wait a minute. Let's see what Fuentes says here. I'm kind of curious here. So, sick of all the BS, posturing, and convoluted narratives. We don't want to be held hostage by Israel and their Jewish cancel culture anymore. If you're not talking about that, then shut the F up. I don't have to talk about that. I genuinely don't. Who cares, man? Like,
I
it's
feel
so ridiculous. Like, I don't think we're held hostage by Israel. I genuinely don't. Like, we're too powerful of a country. People may be bought by Israel, but I don't think we are taken over. And like, they just don't have that deep of pockets. Like, how could they have more wealth and net worth than the United States of America? Our resources alone should be worth much more in the ground. They should be worth much more than the amount of stuff that Israel has. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm sure they have a lot of money and they can buy out a lot of politicians, out of their salaries easily, right? But all of them, every single one of them, there's no way like there's any other leverage anywhere else. Like, I don't see how, if they're that corrupt, that they haven't made more money trying to, get everything out of the United States net worth just so they have more power and wealth anyway. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me. I'm sure there's a way, especially just in military equipment alone. I'm sure our military equipment alone could buy Israel's entire area just in the value of that. We have way more military equipment than them, worth millions and millions of more dollars, billions of more dollars, probably even trillions, honestly, than Israel's. I don't know. I just feel like, if they really wanted to get very, very corrupt in that way as well, we'd have a lot more politicians probably just selling off all our nukes and crap at this point in time, or at least our old tech. That's probably what we do. All these UFOs and crap, 3i Atlas, all that stuff coming in, probably all just government conspiracy stuff. And they probably had this technology for a while. I don't know. I think we probably sell and leak like old weaponry that like Russia and all these other countries probably think are like brand new and, all innovative. They probably leak it out there and have it sold on the black market, but that money funnels back up into the United States somehow, probably directly to one of our governors somehow, or our senators or something. Know what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe not. But you know what I mean? I have no doubt that they're behind half of the black markets that are on this planet. Probably 90% of all the black markets are ran by somebody that's in Congress. But Trump, get it all done. Just cut tax $1 trillion%. Candace is going to implode. She is going to implode. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get back to Ricky real quick here. Just kind of go over this. So anyway, somebody said the N-word on his stream, and he called them the R word. And then they banned him on Twitch. Isn't that amazing, guys? Isn't that awesome? Good job, YouTube. That's crazy. Or YouTube. Good job, Twitch. You guys are awesome. Apparently essaying people, not good enough. Hassan Piker literally essayed a girl. Like, our cutie Cinderella talked about it. And then he said it didn't happen. Now there's video proof it actually happened. Like, it's unbelievable. I should probably do that. I should probably pull that up here. That's just crazy. Oh, shoot. I didn't even actually record that last thing. I forgot to hit record completely. Oh, that sucks. I'm just streaming. I should have done that. Oh, well. Maybe I'll find it and clip it later. Who knows? Let's see here. Was I wanting to go to X? Yes. Yeah, I think I did share it. Not. Did I? Wait. Oh, here we go.
Addicted to Zen's post is...
Yeah, this is crazy, guys. Okay. What a load of garbage. Yeah. Yeah, Ricky's awesome. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what Twitch is thinking. That's crazy to me. It makes absolutely no sense to ban him for that. Do you know how many leftists I hear use that word? Destiny. Well, he's not a good example. He's banned now. But I literally hear Hassan drop that constantly. Constantly he says that. But apparently Ricky can't. He can't say the R word. It's absolutely insane, you know? Absolutely insane. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to this here. Go ahead and I'm going to be recording a video now. and you guys get to watch. It's amazing. It's like a video on a video. Hey, everybody. So it looks to me like Hassan has stepped in it again. Of course he has. So apparently he harassed Cutie Cinderella by showing her his junk. And Ludwig, of course, is not going to defend his girlfriend at all. Cutie might as well just be Hassan's girlfriend at this point, I guess, just by force. Seems like that's what's going on. He's going in there and just taking her. And nobody's defending her. I can't believe she keeps coming out here with this stuff and is still like, I don't know. Is she on his side with this? It was a really weird video. But anyway, Ethan says that's not just crass, it's effing disgusting. So, yeah, I agree.
Hassan.
Let's watch.
Naughty.
Hassan is naughty.
Addicted
Yeah.
to Zins.
Addicted to Zins, posts his package online, tells his friends to
Disgusting.
look at it.
Ew.
He also, during Fear and, he put on his costume and he came in and he said, "You can see my dick in this." And I said, "Hassan, I'm not looking." And then he proceeded to hump the air and he said, "Look." And I said, "I'm not looking."
That's crass.
And then Will did the same thing. They both really wanted me to see their
You don't think it's
penises.
weird that Cutie's female friends are trying to make her look at their penises?
Or you mean her
You
male
mean
friends?
Male
Her
friends.
male friends?
Anyway, I don't know why this is cut off like this, guys, by the way. This is just how it is. They could have scrolled down on their phone. See all this wasted space up here. Could have went past, I don't know. That's
Sorry,
weird.
that is what I meant.
Yeah.
I feel every time
you
Hassan
go.
flirts with Cutie Cinderella. Oh!
Combined with them
He
resharing
reached
it. Let's see.
over
Is this,
Ella for this flirt.
Skin over mine. And
is this it? What is
But
this?
it's
Me sharing, especially
There
after
it
you
is.
two walked in and
I don't know
showed
what
me
that was about.
We did not show you our penises. You put us in these hussy costumes. Hussy
Disneyland. I did not
costumes.
put you in a hussy
You
costume.
put us in hussy costumes.
put us in hussy costumes.
She handed us the costumes and she said,
Hold on.
"Oh, your penises might show."
HR.
We try them on. We come in and we go, "Cutie, do these look all
Hold
right?"
Now, this dude down here, I'm not sure who this guy is. I have no idea. But he actually stands up for her. And he's just like, okay, Hassan and them's lying.
In her defense, you did both show her your
They
penis.
walked in. They said, "Can you see my wiener?"
Yeah. Hassan put his leg
out
up and
the
started
Patreon.
thrusting and said, "Look at my cock."
Yeah. He started thrusting in the air. Thrusting in the air, just like Cutie said. Straight up. Isn't that insane? I guess Twitch just doesn't care. But yeah, Ricky Berwick, he gets banned. That's absolutely crazy. Ricky Berwick. Literally, like, banned for saying someone was an artard because someone said the N-word. He didn't just let someone say it. They said it, and he got onto him for it, and then they ban him. But Hassan Piker can do whatever he wants. He can shock his dog. He can make the dog sit in the corner like a prop. Just absolute animal abuse. This is completely and totally insane. So, what are people saying about this at the end of the day here? Okay, yeah, I don't care about iDubbbz whatsoever. That's disgusting. Zion doesn't give an F about Cutie, and neither do you or the brain dead morons in the comments. Okay, well, let's see what Ethan said. Hey, lad, no drama. Wig, why are you such a spineless coward of a person? Now that you've inserted yourself and your girlfriend into this conversation, and hold the phone, how sincere is Ludwig and Cutie's criticism of me that they still stream with the dude that literally paid for and, yeah, okay, to AI? Wow. I can't say any of that out loud, but you guys remember that, right? You all remember the whole controversy where a dude made an AI PORN of Cutie Cinderella? Yeah, that was a creepy thing to do. He got caught with it. So it says, why the F should I feel bad about this again when he is forgiven, but I'm not? LMAO, give me a break. So that's why he doesn't care about her? He didn't say anything to insult her at all. Not one insult was actually in this. I'm very impressed with Ethan on that. Because usually he can't help himself. But in this situation, I can't say that he doesn't care because he didn't even bother to, like, get onto her in any way, shape, or form, really. He's like, why should I care about them when they're forgiving a guy who did something really gross and nasty and I did nothing wrong to him?
Selling themselves or benefiting off of being seen sexually.
I wanted to disappear.
Why did they edit out the piano?
You're
a monster,
Wait.
dude. You guys are crazy. Why did you do that?
Selling
Here.
themselves or benefiting.
See how they cut it off so quick? They don't realize that one of the guys in the back who has control over the sound, that's why Ethan's saying turn it off. When she's crying, they start playing a little piano in the background and they all bust up laughing because that is a funny thing to do. Now, for the circumstance, it wasn't very nice. But Ethan didn't make him do that, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that means he doesn't care. That would be funny in any circumstance. I would bust out laughing. I did bust out laughing when I saw this. I think I made a video over it, too. I can't remember. But anyway, that is, feel free to go back and fact check me on that if I did a video over that or not. I don't know. I can't say he doesn't care. He was at least nice to him about it. But, man, this is a scathing tweet to something that didn't even happen at all. Anyway, why do you idiots hate Ethan so? He's going to end up... Okay. That's it. That defense of him, or... Man, all right. These people are weird. Ludwig is really yep. Now, I know the memes and jokes are around, but you can tell by how confident he says it that it didn't bother her so much. So much so that she tells the whole internet, and he is to sit fine with a cutie in a working relation. What is this guy talking about? All right. It's, people are really invested in this, aren't they? They're really invested in this. I don't know. I think it's just funny. I really think it's funny in general that, we live in such a clown world today. Like, I'm watching people do the worst of the worst stuff they could be doing on stream. And somebody who doesn't do anything wrong whatsoever gets permanently banned. Or I don't even know if it's a permanent ban. I don't know how long he's banned for. He said the R word in response to a guy saying the N word. If anybody gets a pass to say the R word, it's definitely Ricky. Are you kidding me? Like, why does he not get to? Isn't that a little crazy? I don't know, guys. Tell me what you all think down in the comment section below and whatnot. You know, that'd be really helpful. Give a like and subscribe, that good stuff, especially if you're new here. It would really help. That subscription helps quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm not asking for money or anything like that, guys. Just, likes, subscribes. It's good stuff. And to join me in the live stream. Thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Okay. I think, good God, I was a little early on that, but we'll see what happens. YouTube might be forgiving. Who knows? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't care that much. But we'll see. What are y'all doing here? Not full base, but like 65-ish. Berwick. Yeah, I think he's pretty good. Ethan Klein is the guy that is in the right. Yeah, absolutely. Same with, well, we thought, never mind. I won't say that because I thought Sneeko was in the right for a bit, and then he ended up actually just doing a full 180 on the very comment that he was almost in the right about. Completely insane. Isn't Hassan that special religion that is protected more than any other right now? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's in that special. Well, he's not actually. He's just a communist that, lives like a communist. He pretends to be something. And then, oh, I am still recording that video. Oopsies. He pretends to be something that he's not in order to gain financially. That's just what it is. Like, he says he's a communist, right? But he won't live actually like a communist. He's the kind of communist that would, be in charge of you completely and totally. He's a dictator. That's exactly the position he would want to be in. So it's capitalism for him, communism for the masses. And that's just the way it is. Let's see. Isn't Asman using R-tard all the time? Am I not getting something? Yeah, he does. Like, it's really weird. Streams on Twitch anymore, right? No, he multi-streams. Yeah, he never left Twitch. The ban was probably for the... And I mean, look, wasn't Ricky's fault. He didn't say it. Punishing him for somebody else's words is completely stupid. Ben's losing control of the narrative. He's panicking. What's he doing now? Where are we at? Breaking. Ben Shapiro claims that real Candace Owens believes that Erica Kirk was responsible. Well, okay, so she kind of has to. She's put herself in a corner. I'm going to mention that in the video coming up. Maybe I'll fluff this up with this, yeah. Let's see. I'll get rid of this. Let's do this. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to watch through this with you guys sometime. It's really it's a really disappointing interview, to be honest, because this guy's every one of these guys' sources. Norman Finkelstein here. Every single source is trust me, bro. Every single source. It's like I can't disclose my source, but this is what's really happening inside of Gaza. And it's like, okay, but can I like have anything, pictures, anything, like just anything? Well, you just got to trust us. And it's like, I'm not doing that. No, I don't do that with anybody. I ain't giving you the benefit of the doubt. I ain't giving Israel the benefit of the doubt. Nobody gets the benefit of the doubt. Show me or no, I don't believe it. You know, that's just the way I am with all this. But anyway, I don't know. We'll get to this here. Hopefully she's live today. We'll see what happens. But this is
by a company built on our value.
Fair warning.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Because
no, you shush for a second. How did this just full screen? I clicked play and it just popped right on up, like my mouse glitched and everything. The full screen thing's way over here in the bottom right. My mouse was way over here. That was crazy. That freaked me out. Candace and Min are both in the wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Every one of them to me is in the wrong. Yeah, I just don't see why anybody's falling for this. But we're going to watch some Candy now. Candy Apple kissing. Anybody want to watch my chair while I play the video? No? Oh, okay. I'll just go ahead and do this if Hassan doesn't mind then.
As today is obviously a day of celebration. Yes, in case you missed it, we officially have become the #1 podcast in the world, not in America.
So weird. Why is she not grieving right? Oh, is this too loud? Why is she not grieving right? Shouldn't she be like, I don't know, shouldn't Candace be grieving a certain way? You know, it's funny because a lot of people have been saying that. And a lot of the same people Candace follow have been very much vocalizing their distrust with how Erica Kirk is handling things. But she never really mentions that. Why? Why doesn't she mention the other side? Why doesn't she really mention the side that's like obviously pushing a little too far? It's weird. She only pushes on one side of the aisle. I find it strange. I find it very strange. I could poke holes in the sides of Israel. Can also poke holes in the sides of all these pro-Palestinian people. It's not very difficult. And when you see that they can both easily just be kind of picked apart, you know, it really gives you a different perspective. Makes you realize somebody's out there lying, or maybe both sides are lying. Who knows what's actually going on? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know. And all these people pretending that they know for a fact Palestine's in the right, and all these people sitting there pretending that they know for a fact Israel is in the right, both sides are completely gullible. They're not critically thinking. They've chosen a team. So I've decided on America. America first is the country that I am most interested in. With our resources, I think we ought to allocate them back to the people and fix our country. And I think it's that simple. People like Candace and people like Ben Shapiro are the worst people possible for an American First movement, which is why Candace has left MAGA for the most part, and Ben Shapiro has been fake MAGA since the beginning as well. They both have been fake MAGA, always. So, you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. But anyway, let's get on with this part.
Okay, not in Europe. I am talking about in the world, and the haters stay mad. Haters stay big mad on the internet, on X today. It is just crazy town. I mean,
there's so many bots coming from Candace's channel and attacking me that they're not even making sense. That I don't know. She may be the #1 podcast in the world right now. I don't really care if she is or isn't. Big deal. I feel bad that a lot of people would be falling for it, but I wonder if half of them are bots at a bare minimum.
Christian Zionist influencers
there's so many that
are doing
bots.
that thing where they attack me for telling the truth about something. It's so strange. I don't even know how to react to it. I'm going to do my best here. They're all weighing in and they're commenting and they're saying untrue about something that is literally true. It's literally true. I lived it. It's such a strange thing. It's like they're trying to wipe my own memory and wipe my...
Candace showed us 3 dates on one email. And she's saying that, nope, this is the way every one of them does it, no matter what. Candace saw into Charlie's line of work for 3 years over the course of like, assuming that that schedule stayed exactly like that. So I'm going to go ahead and say that her schedule is exactly like it then, since she's so confident that those 3 dates are just how all of them went. So let's go by her rules. That means that you put in roughly over the course of 3 years, like 144 hours, or was it like 104? 144. I think it was 144 hours. Yeah, that's right. 144 hours in with Turning Point USA. That is roughly 1 month's worth of work at any other job. 1 month. Assuming you work 40 hours a week, that's a month. So, a full month's worth of work, and somehow she thinks she knows the entire inner workings of a company that has been around for, 12, 13 plus years? I don't know that you're that experienced in this, Candace. And to say that, like, nobody could schedule early, it was 2 months. It took 2 months to schedule UVU. 2 months. That's not the next day. That's not an emergency. Oh, man, you got booked so fast. 2 months is a long time. 2 months is a long time to book something. And I could tell you that I know this because I know several different people that are in several touring bands. And a lot of the time, it takes forever to get a venue. Until one just pops up one day on your route. Hey, we're in Memphis right now, and somebody finds out, they're like, hey, this venue lost somebody for their show. Do you guys want to fill in? They get it. And these are bigger bands. These aren't like small nobody bands. Okay? Happens with Tala. They all the time, well, not all the time, they fill in shows all like last minute. Like, it's not super common, but it's not very rare either. It does happen. So, I don't know. I don't think it's that much different. And yeah, a lot of people don't like Turning Point USA that are running the colleges, and they try to be a roadblock. But not every single college is UVU like that. I don't know if they are or not. I doubt they put up nearly as much of a fight. They are in Utah. It's like OU. OU's very liberal, but they are still in Oklahoma. So they're not California liberal. It's not quite there yet. You know, we're only like 5 years behind California. But at the end of the day, there are so many conservative students that go there that push for Charlie Kirk to get there that I guarantee you it was easier to book OU than it was any place in California, probably. I imagine those didn't take as long. I don't know about Utah, but neither do you because you don't show your experience with Utah. I don't know if she went to Utah or not to speak. But assuming she did, she didn't show it. And assuming she didn't, she doesn't have any experience with them. So that's the bad thing about it. We're going to see those receipts, though.
My own emails that I have.
Quote, unquote. I think,
of course, we are at first, before we get to them, going to cover the top viral moments from the heavily anticipated interview.
Never mind. That was the last video. She showed him in the last video. She's talking about a friend that she's arguing with on Twitter now about that, so that's what it was.
With Erica Kirk on Fox News with Jesse Waters.
Everything
so let's
I said
get
applies.
Started.
Nope. Can't play that song. So annoying. So annoying. I can't play like 4 seconds, still claim the whole freaking video. The whole stream. I'm planning on streaming for like 4 hours probably tonight. Kanye West gets all that money for 4 seconds of the damn song.
One in the world.
Crazy,
it's been
right?
trending on Twitter. It's been so exciting. Look at
all
this. I will never
79
forget
cents that I'll
this
make
moment.
From this stream.
Candace Owens' podcast hits #1 worldwide. Best part, without promotion, which means we have not spent, since we started this podcast a year and a half ago,
And see, that's the thing, too. Like, let me show you. I think I can pull that up. Hold on. Actually, I really want to show you guys now, because it's funny, because it's like, Kanye West not only can claim it, but when he does claim it, it's like, man, he must really actually be sorry what he said to the Jews. Because, let's see here. I think it was like, which one was it that he claimed? Oh, I edited it out. Which one was it then? I think it was this one here. This is my most viewed stream one. Yeah. This is like 2,000 viewed stream. It says 107 views because that's after it uploaded, but it was like a 2,000 viewed stream one, and it made 74 cents. Who's the Jew now, Kanye? See, look, out when you back out outside of here, you can see 2,311 views. When you go into it, then it tracks it after it was published. See? So 107 afterwards. Just how a little fun fact from YouTube. But yeah, 74 cents, Kanye. Good God, man. You claimed that from a 4-hour video. 4 seconds of his song. 4 seconds. And he was like, nah, I need all 74 cents of that. That's crazy, right? Anyway, just a little rant.
A single dollar on advertising, okay? Because we couldn't do it. We were a startup. I was fired. Things were down. It was real bad. And yet we are the #1 podcast in the world. Grok summarizes it this way. I'm going to read it.
Man, she's coping so hard with everything that happened to Charlie here, huh? Man, it doesn't seem right, right? By the way, I also just wanted to add that if anybody doesn't believe me that I don't make money on YouTube, there you go. I get like 70 cents a video maybe. If it all adds up over the course of a month, and I do like 3 videos a day, that'd be like, let's see, what's 30? That'd be 90. So that'd be 90. I could almost make it would be like $85 a month. I think I might make on YouTube if I make anything at all, and usually just goes to taxes.
Conservative commentator Candace Owens announced on Thursday that her independent podcast, Candace, has reached the top global ranking according to Podscribe data following her 2024 departure from the Daily Wire. She credits the organic growth to criticism, legal challenges, including a defamation lawsuit from French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron, and her small team's resilience. Owens attributes the milestone to divine intervention amid ongoing media attacks. Fact check.
She only grew like this because of the Charlie Kirk thing. So, we could fact check it. The Macron stuff was barely a blip in the news. It's already forgotten about. And Candace is trying to weasel out of that lawsuit completely. She's already filed for a motion to dismiss, even though she said she wouldn't do that. She said she would take it through to the end of discovery so she could discover that sausage and pancake underneath that dress there. But something apparently made Candace change her mind, because I don't think she actually believes that she is trans anymore. I don't think she does.
It's just true. All of it's very true. I am so excited. I would like to thank everyone but the Academy, because the Matrix hates me. I will never win any more accolades, probably never be invited to a red carpet event, but that's okay because I've never been happier. And there are so many people to thank. It is true. We must thank Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron for that ill-advised lawsuit. Obviously, I feel like that ripped a hole in reality.
Really? Why are you filing for a motion to dismiss? Why?
And
you
made
don't address
things
that
even
at all.
more global.
It's funny because it was revealed October 31st, and I did a whole video over it, and she's still not talking about the fact that she filed for a motion to dismiss, even though that she said she would not do that on Tucker Carlson's, whatever he calls his show. Tucker Carlson show now? Is that what it's called? I have no idea, actually. She does not address it at all. She never mentions it. She just, anytime, you can always tell when Candace Owens is lying, because what you'll do is you will go and you'll make the claim, and she will not talk about it at all. She refuses to bring it up. So therefore, she doesn't have to deny it and get caught up in a lie. She'll just glaze past it.
Well, than they
That's
already
exactly
were.
what she's doing.
I'd like to thank Kanye West, formerly Kanye West. He is now Ye, for the song Power, because the song Power.
But not a shout out. Not Kanye West shout out and all that helped you get big? Okay.
Really made me recognize that you have to stop listening to your haters. You also should recognize that you need the haters to inspire you to keep going. When somebody tells you you can't.
So, in other words, let's dissect that. Ignore the haters that are correct, that I cannot disprove, but definitely use the haters that you can easily spin your story or, maybe even prove wrong because they're dumb. So therefore, use them to jumpstart your channel up. I got you.
Can't be something, or
Taking
you
notes.
must be something.
I'll remember
you
that.
You have to stand up for yourself. You have to have the courage to say, I know the
Good
crowd
advice.
is doing this, but
Good
I'm not
business
doing
advice.
it. And that was me when I no longer wanted to do the pro-Israel thing. Of course, as always, I thank
You no longer wanted to do it, so you like were doing it first, and then you were like, "I'm bored."
Ben
I
Shapiro.
guess that's one way to
thank
phrase
Jeremy
it.
Boring. I thank the
Wow.
direction of travel, and they realizing it before I did that I should be fired. Thank you for firing me, but and thank you for the publicity of the firing. Andrew Clavin, Christ is.
She defended them so hard too. When she knew she was wrong, she defended them. Isn't that crazy? She knew that Daily Wire was wrong. She defended him, and then she got fired by it because she didn't want to stand for it anymore, but she won't admit when she was wrong.
King, thank you so much. You are a
Sucks,
hero in my
doesn't
book.
People
Tucker
still fall for
Carlson, I don't
Candace.
know. I feel like I should thank you because a lot happened because people.
How many coincidences do there have to be, Candace? That's one thing I would like to say. You know what I mean? How many coincidences do there have to be? She was anti-MAGA. She was a leftist. She was doxing kids. She lied about how she met Kanye. You know, how many signs do we need to see here of Candace Owens? She lied about Steven Crowder. She lied about Brett Cooper. She lied about Daily Wire. Man, she's not doing so good anymore. She's not doing so hot when it comes to telling the truth. Yet so many people, for some reason, don't know anything about her. It's weird to me. I really wish people would look into her background. I genuinely wish people would just look a little bit deeper into who Candace Owens is.
Thought that we were plotting behind the scenes and we never were. And thank you, Tucker Carlson, for the weeks that I get off when the media is attacking you instead of me. Now it's kind of together. It's Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, but thank you. I want to thank Australia. We see you, Australia. Tony Burke, thank you for banning us from an entire country, even though I didn't do nothing. I literally didn't do nothing, but I'm banned. And guess what? You gotta hear me anyways. Ha ha ha, Tony Burke. Okay, but in reality, also
good stuff, right? Anyway, no, I don't. She didn't do anything to get banned from Australia. That's kind of dumb. But you know, I mean, somehow you got to have some idiot either in Australia or the UK or Germany make a complete ass of themselves. You know what I mean? They just have to do it once in front of the camera at least.
So obviously, thanking this
you know,
incredible
that's not
team,
surprising.
very small. It has stayed small. There's just 4 of us that work on the actual podcast every day. Savannah wearing a ton of hats, Chris in editing, Mark mansplaining, and also being our director, Skylar, the producer, who has to deal with my insane text messages all through the night because my brain is running a million different ways. It's just a really tiny little engine that keeps going, and so that's why we are.
Yeah, it
actually
is. I bet it is a tiny little engine, isn't it? Oh man, come on! Don't burn yourself like that, Candace. You're smarter than that. Don't set people up.
And we do need to hire more people.
That's good.
And you guys
though.
still are not getting a window in there. I just want to be clear. I don't want them to get too excited. There will never be any breathing room in the control room. And yeah, obviously, it's been a tremendous year, and mostly thankful to my husband for figuring out how to operate an entire podcast business. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he deals with things. He doesn't have time to even watch the show, and he's just constantly putting out fires. Could not have done this without all of you guys.
I wonder what other kind of fires he's been putting out, because that sounds like a miserable time, to be honest. That does not sound like a fun time to me.
Guys, for letting me know that it's okay to just be honest. And it was definitely a trying year, realizing that, especially now, the conservatism
Honest
thing,
about
what
grifting.
is conservatism? The Republican Party is going through a moment. I don't want to be tied down.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
right
Republican
now
Party.
we're going on so far a 5-minute rant about how thankful she is to be the #1 podcast in the world right now, and how much she's grown, and you know, all that good stuff. She's just, you know, going on her soapbox. She's really happy about it. She's really grieving. She's taken the news of everything that happened to Charlie Kirk and stuff so well, by the way. To put it in her own words anyway, she's grieving weird. You know, why is she acting like?
And I want to be able to say something against Democrats and Republicans.
Because, you know, it's
And we're
such a
doing
total
that. We're
argument.
speaking
to
truth.
use.
We're going to continue to speak truth, and we're very excited today. And one of the things that we're
TPUSA should be
speaking truth about right now, and which
you know,
my haters are like,
grieving
it's
a
because
lot
you're
harder.
talking about Charlie Kirk. You know, you guys change this every month. First it was, oh, it's because of the Brigitte Macron thing. Oh, it's because of the Kamala Chronicles. Oh, it's because of the Blake Lively lawsuit. The common denominator here is me looking for truth. And
Well, don't break an arm, Candace. God knows you only got 2 of them. Wow. You grew by 1 million subscribers in the past month. What changed in the past month? You know? Something happened? I don't know. I think that's a little interesting, right? Something happened. It was definitely just Charlie Kirk. They're not saying the other people. Nobody's saying that it was because of Macron. It was that one magazine. But people aren't saying that. That's a stupid, like, CNN magazine or whatever it is, newspaper outlet, whatever they are, you know, news outlet. They're not saying that that's the actual reason. No, real people aren't anyway. That's completely ridiculous. It was all because of Charlie Kirk. And you are using him to prop up everything you are doing. Because I have some actual, like, I'm going to show you guys that video that was sent to me. It's completely ridiculous, and it disproves Candace Owens completely and totally. I should get that pulled up on the side here. Because at the end of the day, history, no, not history. Let's see. It's under watch later. I got a lot of videos here. Here we go.
No one has any blood on.
Okay. So,
Folks, Gary here.
We're going to be watching this guy's video next, and it's going to completely and totally pretty much prove Candace wrong. She left out video of, just giving you guys a hint, she left out video that was there at Charlie Kirk's event, right after Charlie Kirk got hit. She left out a lot of video, to be honest, that she doesn't want to talk about. So we'll be getting on that once we get more into Charlie Kirk here.
And I think people are catching on to the fact that I'm sincerely looking for truth, and I don't care what enemies I make along the way. And
we know.
Obviously,
we know you love burning
now,
bridges.
for some reason, looking into the Charlie Kirk assassination and the lies that we are being told. Anyways, let's get into Erica Kirk. Obviously, it was a very anticipated interview. I think we didn't really know what we were going to get. I don't know why I thought it was going to be like more.
I'm going to give you guys a hint here. She completely and totally stands with Erica Kirk because she knows that it would be the worst possible move for her. It would be so career-ending if she stood against Erica Kirk. But here's a problem. There's a big problem with that. Candace absolutely believes TPUSA is doing a cover-up. The issue with that is TPUSA has come out and said that Charlie Kirk has had these journals and all this other stuff to have the succession of his company, who it's going to go to and like how it's going to be ran and stuff like that. And she says there is no way. Here's the problem. Erica Kirk has not come out and at all said that was false. So for her to come out and be acting like Erica Kirk wouldn't be in on it, don't you think Erica Kirk would know if Charlie was journaling or not, or had a plan of succession? I feel like Erica Kirk would come out and be like, no, we didn't discuss this, or no, we didn't have these journals or anything like that, right? So she's either A, being held hostage, which Candace never even dares to bring up, or B, she's in on it. Which one is it, Candace? But she's not going to tell us at all. This is how she's going to respond instead.
More about the investigation. And obviously, in retrospect, that's not what it was about, because it's Fox News, and Fox News is not going to do this like heavy investigation. It was kind of more giving her a platform to speak about how things have changed for her, how things have changed for
I agree, Julia.
Turning Point USA, but it's like being at the helm of the organization. What are her thoughts about what that organization is going to look like going forward? And I'm speaking about Jesse Waters, who hosted this discussion, also trailed her at the event that she did with J.D. Vance at the University of Mississippi. Now, people around the world obviously have been moved by Erica's commitment to her Christian faith, the strength, obviously, that it takes for her to look after her kids, to look after herself, plus to steward this massive company, all while she's grieving, right? And that's kind of one of the things that stood out the most to a lot of people.
Now, what do you mean, though? Like, is she actually stewarding the company? If she's the one stewarding this company, then how is TPUSA involved in a cover-up, Candace? How? Does this make much sense to you? Do you think Erica wouldn't be asking these questions, right? Is she being held hostage, Candace, or is she in on it? It's a simple, I think it's a simple thing you should be addressing at this point.
But I would say the Christian message is what has resonated the most when she got up on stage and she said that I forgive him pretty instantly. I mean, when was the memorial event? It was only 10, 11 days after he was assassinated. I think it was even less, maybe. It was like the 19th, 9 days after he was assassinated. Oh, sorry, the 21st. Mansplained in my ear. Thank you, Mark. So Jesse asked her about the harder moments that she has encountered becoming a widow. And she shared that nighttime is the hardest. She also shared her experience with the emotions of being a widow compared to the emotions that other widows may experience when grappling with sudden loss. And here's what she had to say. Take a listen.
It's so easy to be in a position of feeling regret when you lose someone you love.
Anybody think she's not grieving right, by the way? I don't know. I think that's how you grieve, in my opinion. Well, man, my pause games are terrible, aren't they?
And I tried to read a book by C.S. Lewis because he lost the love of his life. He was only married to her for 4 years. I think it's called A Grief Observed. And it was a very hard book to read.
It is so weird how personality-wise she is very much like Charlie Kirk. That is, I see a lot of what, like, how he presented himself. She's either really, really, really good at acting, or man, she is, they really got to know each other pretty well.
Not because it was about grief, but because in the opening pages he talked about how angry he was with God. And I've never felt that. I'm not angry with God. Never have been. Never have I questioned, why, Lord, are you putting me through this? Why are you testing me? Why are you? Because God is so good and he's so sovereign. And I know he uses everything, even what the enemy meant for evil. And
I don't know how I would grieve either, I just think, Candace is a grifter. Absolutely. I just think, it's one of those things where people are talking about how she should be grieving and stuff, and I'm just like, I completely disagree. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. It's completely, like, we've seen a lot of people and how they grieve. It can be weird. I think everybody's grief is a bit weird, I don't know. How are you supposed to react in life after that? I think something in you kind of snaps a little bit when something that crazy happens. And you're not going to grieve, quote unquote, right. You know what I mean? You just don't.
Regrets.
So when I saw this moment, I was just thinking about myself and...
Yeah, I bet you were. I bet you were, Candace. Man, you never fail to insert yourself into something and talk about yourself. It's freaking hilarious. Just a second ago, there's only one common denominator, and that's me. It's like, yeah, don't break an arm, and then bam, right back into it. How far are we? 9 minutes in? You said that right at like the 5-minute mark. Couldn't go 4 minutes without, again, talking about herself. That's amazingly hilarious.
A lot of emotions and grieving that I have experienced and all the emotions that I've shared with you guys and the anger that I have felt. And I want to be very clear that I am not that example that she is giving. Like I could have never, and I know that so many people agree with this, I could have never forgiven Tyler Robinson for whatever part he played in this. And obviously I'm saying whatever part he played in this because I don't believe.
You can't even forgive Steven Crowder, and you were wrong about him. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable. So I trust you, Candace. For this, I absolutely trust her on.
Believe that he was the lone person involved. I don't even think it's the person that killed Charlie Kirk. But even if you believe all of those things, I never could have turned around and forgiving him that quickly, right? And I have not even processed. I definitely, when I prayed about this, asked a ton of questions to God. And yeah, she is absolutely right in what she is saying. And she is delivering to us what the biblical teaching is on these matters. But I could not feel that way. And so I was questioning myself, listening to this, like, what is wrong with me? Like, well, actually, what is wrong with me? Why am I not able to get to forgiveness? Why am I not able to, or why am I rather questioning and asking why, and why doing this to somebody so young? I mean, even my dad, by the way, was so impacted. He met Charlie a couple of times, but he was so impacted by Charlie's assassination that it made him go, I want to be, I remember my dad said this, like, I want.
Yeah, we get it. Your dad wants to be. Is my stream, hey, just out of curiosity, guys, is my stream, well, No, everyone's on YouTube. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. I thought my thumbnail was messed up because Rumble is now messing up. So sorry about that. Okay, we'll
to be a better grandfather and a better father, because I look at myself and I'm older and I haven't lived a life anywhere near as admirable as Charlie has lived his life. My dad literally said this to me on the phone.
Yeah, I think she does look at herself as a legend.
It makes me feel like, why
I would
him?
not be surprised.
Why did this happen to Charlie Kirk? And I just, I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was going, wow, what is wrong with me that I have felt all of those things, that she has had the wisdom to just not go through that, you know what I mean? Or not, I guess.
Look, it's easy to kind of understand to a degree, right? I would think. This is a kid who got wrapped up in a really, really stupid situation. He was a good kid apparently the year before that, you know? He knew not what he had done. What's that? How's that familiar? You know, have you read the Bible? Is that familiar to you at all? What Jesus says on the cross, you know, forgive them for they know not what they have done, you know? Like, I think it's pretty easy to live by that doctrine whenever you're really into it. And I don't think many people were nearly as into it, living by the word of exactly the Bible, as Charlie was. And I think his wife probably wants to live exactly that example, in my opinion. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that Erica is or is not controlled. I have no idea. She could be in on it. She could be completely faking in on it. I don't know. It's just I don't have the evidence for that. And it's not very compelling what people have shown. You know what I mean? Everyone grieves different. She's doing it knowing knowing millions of people are watching. Yeah, right on. You know, that would affect you for sure. I mean, it's stressful. You know, you got to lead a company too. And you got kids. Do you know how hard it is to grieve in front of kids? Or around them at all? Like, you know what sucks? You know what genuinely sucks that I heard earlier? The fact that she is in front of all of these people, right? Maybe it was in this video. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But maybe it comes up again. But her kids, 10, 15 years later, guess what they're going to be able to find at the click of a button? You know? They're going to be able to see exactly what happened to their dad. It's recorded. Isn't that horrific? Like, imagine how hard she has got to keep that from her kids. You know what I mean? It's completely traumatizing.
I shouldn't say not go through that, but not fixate on that. I couldn't today, after everything that's happened, be like, I forgive Tyler Robbins. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I get it. That's fine. Nobody's asking you to, though, Candace. You know? Nobody is asking you to forgive him. And it's different. When things happen to their loved ones, and especially if the loved one thinks that this case is all wrapped up, you know, they are free to choose at that point in time if they forgive or not. Totally get it. I don't know if I would or would not in their position, but assuming that Erica believes 100% that everything is being taken care of properly, it's a lot easier from that position to forgive than it is Candace's position. Because Candace believes that the person's still out there. And that it's our government, or that it's Israel, or that it's Egypt, or that it's Ukraine, or that it's TPUSA, or maybe all of them at the same time. Or maybe some of them and not others. We don't know exactly which ones. There's a lot of people involved. It's crazy. Because she even thinks that the colleges are involved. That's a lot of people that are keeping their mouths shut. We'll get to that part here coming up.
And I think maybe if I'm assessing myself and being hypercritical of myself right now, it's because I cannot forgive
again
until I know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm forgiving, actually, until I know what happened. This might move into
2 minutes
what we're going to get into later, where she answers the question. We're going to get to it right now, actually, of whether or not she believes that they have caught the true killer of Charlie Kirk, right?
Okay, it is this video then.
Do you believe that? The person that we have in custody, is that the person that pulled the trigger? Is that the only person that pulled the trigger? Anyways, I want you to hear it directly from her and not me recapping what she said or reiterating it rather.
Wait, are you for real? That's what you had to do
gone
after that?
viral
I'm sorry to
because
hear
of
your
what
husband
she didn't
died.
say, to be honest with you. Take a listen.
Do you think they've caught your husband's killer?
So, something I'm so grateful for is that we have one of the most incredible teams.
Yeah, Mr. Beast as
for
well.
this
That's
case.
right. I forgot.
I
Yeah,
would
he's also
never
involved.
wish it upon anybody to have to go through what we are going through. To have seen the autopsy report, to
Not
have
100%,
seen
of course, but,
the different evidence portions that have been collected. I trust our team.
So it's not a straight yes or no. And
I know why she said that, but we'll let Candace talk here.
the implication could be that she trusts the team to find more or to get answers, or if this...
No, it's very simple, Candace. There's a trial coming up. And she's probably been advised by her lawyers and stuff that, hey, look, for the sake of the trial, for the sake that, there's a gag order out there to not influence people, a jury pool, what happened one way or the other. Because they want the jury to get all of their information directly from the evidence in the court to build the case. And they're trying not to... This is a very high profile case. Very, very high profile case that are going to have millions and millions of eyes on it. It's going to be very easy for information. Think about it. A normal murder case, right? Doesn't get very much publicity. It's not that hard after the first initial news story for people to kind of forget about it, move on with their lives, and then a jury trial takes place 9-10 months later, just like it's going to happen literally with this case. That it's going to literally, have so many millions of more views on it. Information will leak like crazy to people. Like, everybody across the country knows about this. Imagine trying to select a jury pool that's not biased. It's going to be very difficult to do on its own. So, yeah, the gag order is very, very much a necessary thing. And Candace tried to spin that like it was crazy. Only affected people directly that were going to be in the court. That's it. It's very simple. So, for her to be, getting weirded out about it, it's like they had a gag order on the Brian Koberger case. And that wasn't even that popular. It was popular. It ain't this popular. This case is going to be probably even more popular or equally as popular as the whole Johnny Depp trial. Johnny Depp trial actually kind of didn't become popular, though, until after the most popular episode came out. You know what I mean? Most popular moment of Amber Turd. That's when people were like, wait, what happened? What's this going on? I got to get in on this. This trial is going to have way more from the get-go. I guarantee it. Way more people are going to have their eyes on this trial for the first trial than they will probably for the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. Because, it wasn't that crazy whenever it first happened. Nobody thought it would get that crazy. No one thought, I almost said Taylor Lorenz. No one thought Amber Heard was going to lay a live egg on the bed. Nobody. That's a crazy situation to have happen. So, who knows? Who knows how crazy it's going to get, I guess. But I do know it's going to get crazier than your average murder case and that a gag order would be necessary. So, there is that. Now, at the end of the day, Erica Kirk was just simply being mindful of it. She didn't want to give too much of an opinion of, do you think they got the man? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's going to be real great for all the millions of eyes and those people that are possibly going to be put in the jury. If one of those people are in the jury that saw that interview, they may be pretty biased. I don't know if they will be or not, but they might be. And that's really, really tough. Amber and Johnny was not a murder case either. Exactly, that too. And that's what's even crazier because, well, I don't know. I wonder what kind of case does generally do better? Drama like that? Or is a high-profile murder case on average? Which one I think gets more eyes? I know that the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial is just crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. Let me see. Because I bet the O.J. Simpson case is probably still more popular. What is the most popular trial by numbers so far? Oh, okay. No, O.J. Simpson's still number one. 150 million views. Casey Anthony after that. Michael Jackson trial, George Zimmerman trial. Really? Including Amber Heard. We'll just put that. And we'll see what the numbers were for that one. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it got 83.9 million views. O.J. Simpson was 150 million. That's crazy. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was not actually as popular of a case as I thought. That's crazy. 150, Casey Anthony. It doesn't show the numbers for Casey Anthony at all, though. Or Michael Jackson or Scott Peterson or George Zimmerman. Huh. Wild. So I'm willing to bet maybe all those were even more popular. So yeah, I guess murder cases in general still are significantly more popular than celebrity cases. That's interesting. I thought for sure Johnny Depp and Amber Heard was actually going to be like, you know, number 2 most viewed case or something, but no, not even that. That's interesting. Yeah, obviously, I think it's just even a higher chance now that this case is obviously going to be way, way, way more popular. In fact, it may be way more popular than OJ's. Think about it. OJ had the whole, like, racial tension thing, but, you know, what happened with OJ was, like, I don't know, it was nuts, but it wasn't, like, it didn't have, like, political stink all over it. You know what I mean? It didn't look like something that you could equate to JFK. This one has that case, you know? And Candace has helped to fan those flames for it. So it's more popular now than it'll ever be. I could totally understand why Erica Kirk is being as careful as she is with her words. And Candace doesn't even think of that.
Is not it to tell her what the true answers are. And I think that's why this is going viral, because they're going, okay, does she actually believe that Tyler Robinson acted alone? And obviously Jesse is not going to push her on that, because it would have probably felt more like an interrogation rather than just sitting down and speaking through some of these topics that are probably
was that televised?
Talk about in general. But I am hopeful that what she's implying is that she trusts her team to do the due diligence. She says that she has seen the autopsy report. She has seen certain things. Obviously, none of us have seen the autopsy report.
No, they had several trials for the Idaho 4. I did a video on it over on my horror / true crime channel. I haven't done a video on it for a while, and I should have done an update video for it, but I've been busy with this, so I just haven't quite been able to. But yeah, they had trials, and then Kohberger took his plea deal. So, I mean, that guy, yeah. I don't know. A lot of people believe Kohberger was innocent. Isn't that crazy? It's so weird. I don't know why. I genuinely don't.
And I don't know. I didn't know what to make of that. Is she saying that there's more that's going to come out? Is that kind of a foreshadowing?
Well, no, she's not foreshadowing anything necessarily. I mean, think about this. There's already foreshadowing. The FBI already said that there was a trans terror network that he was a part of. So she might be hinting towards that, but I mean, it was already hinted towards. I have no doubt that more stuff will come out, especially during the trial. They're not going to release anything right now. Everything's going to come out in court, Candace. That's what we're talking about. That's why it looks like the FBI stopped investigating. They may have concluded their investigation, and all that evidence and stuff's going to come out in court. You know? And these headphones just chew into my hair. I need to figure something else out.
That more is going to come out and things are going to be clear.
Ooh.
I hope so. I really do. Because in terms of what the public has seen so far, I would say nothing has been convincing. And I'm trying to imagine what they would have that the public hasn't seen that could be sort of a smoking gun.
I see what you're saying. I just call them
theory,
trials
it would be
whatever.
The footage,
Hearings.
right? Tyler Boyer said, we have footage in 4K, all of the stuff when he was tweeting.
Is what it is.
And similarly, not the university, but somebody else was saying that, you know, at every angle, every area of the university is covered. Their excuse for not showing the public was they didn't want it to in any way impact the case. That has never made sense to me. That excuse has never made sense.
I know it never made sense to you, but Candace, if you actually looked into true crime cases, it actually is quite common. It's very common. Like I said, I mean, dude, we're talking about it here. Kohberger. Happened to him, you know? Not even, like, I mean, super famous case, but not that famous, you know? Like,
sense to me. In fact, I would imagine that when there was a manhunt going on, before you were even thinking about the case, but rather thinking about keeping people safe, that would have been a good time to drop some clear footage of the individual. But it's possible. It's possible they have.
Yeah, I hate the whole court sketch artist thing. I think that's such a dumb thing, like that dumb tradition they have. They should put it on blast. Every single court case, in my opinion, should be televised in some way, shape, or form. In my opinion, I think it should be seen by the public. It's a public event. It's paid for by the public. I think we get access to it. We get access to all the charges and everything afterwards. I think we should absolutely have evidence of what happened. And I think all judges, because There's too many corrupt judges. Way too many corrupt judges. They all need to be on camera when they're doing their job, in my opinion. It just needs to happen.
Actual clear footage of Tyler Robinson jumping down onto the rooftop and firing the shot. That's all possible. And so we're just going to have to wait and see.
About time she admitted it.
Now, I'm going to say, personally...
She's only admitting it for Erica's benefit right now. Otherwise, typically, she'd be like, it's not possible. It would have decapitated him. But now she's rethinking some of her stuff because I think she's going to walk it back a little bit. Candace is kind of on the back foot now. Because she's going to say it again later on that we know it wasn't that because a 30-06 does this. I'm like, Candace, a 30-06 doesn't do anything but push a pin. It goes click. That's what a 30-06 does. All the rest of it is in the bullet. And they don't just make one for the 30-06. They have as low as 55 grain coyote shot, all the way up to the 225 grain that can take down a bear. Which one did he use? And there's like 20 in between. Take your pick.
And maybe even selfishly.
We don't even know that yet.
Probably selfishly. Again, I'm fallen. I am very fallen, obviously. I was extremely excited that she responded to the Catholic innuendo once and for all in her own way. Obviously, it was not a direct question or anything.
No, she did not. She didn't respond to it. Look at this.
But two things happened here. One, you probably didn't catch, which is behind Jesse and Erica as they're walking backstage at the University of Mississippi event
Julia.
That they headlined.
I mean, that's how it is in the United States,
Look
too.
in the corner there. I know a priest scholar when I see one.
I see he's staring off in the direction of a child.
Yep, that is the same priest that she took with her to the hospital when Charlie was shot. And I don't know. I am maintaining that I think this may have been about more than the architecture. And in case you are not there yet, in addition to that, the priest being caught behind the scenes there, they traveled with Erica and she discusses Charlie's affinity for Saint Michael. Take a listen.
Okay, so, like, specifically, who was Saint Michael? Like, we're not talking about the angel, right? Let's see. Also called Saint Michael the Archangel. Yeah, okay. So, does she not realize that Saint Michael is literally the it's Christian? It's not just Catholic. It's not Catholic. Like, Catholics teach it. But what about it? Like, why is Saint Michael that significant? I don't understand.
When we first started dating, I asked him, I was like, why don't you wear a cross? I was like, why? You say you're a Christian, but you don't wear a cross. He's like, I don't know.
He's like, they're really heavy. Badoom. Okay.
I don't really
I'll
love
be
a jewelry
quiet.
guy. And I was like, I understand. So for his first birthday present, I got him this cross. And then throughout time, I would always add different medals to it. And so he loved St. Michael. And so...
I mean, when it comes to angels, he is the coolest one. He's the most brutal. I mean, it's pretty metal angel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, every time he'd put this on, he just felt like it was his armor.
Are we done here, guys? He felt like St. Michael was his armor, okay?
Okay, that's cool. St. Michael's an angel, Candace. That's in he's literally he's in this Bible. He's right here. Like, what is she talking about? Like, I'm so confused. And he wasn't specifically talking about St. Michael. He said the cross. She said the cross, not he. She said whenever he's wearing this, it feels like it's his armor. This implying the object.
Yeah, every time he'd put this on, he just felt like it was his armor.
Every time he put this on, he just felt like this was his armor. And then she goes, oh, that meant St. Michael was his armor. That's not what Erica said, but even if it was, I'm confused. What is wrong with St. Michael? Like, it's not Catholic, Candace. Did you know that? Did you know that, like, every single church, Seventh-day Adventist, what other ones are there? The Church of the Nazarene, which is pretty much just Catholic, but, you know, the other way, the Martin Luther way. You know, all those different, like, all those different sides, you know, evangelicals, Protestants, Baptists, all of them still talk about St. Michael. That's not like the Bible changed in it. They just have different traditions. So what are you talking about? How is this proof?
Are we done here, guys? He felt like St. Michael was his armor. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I wanted to point that out because in retrospect, I get more and more just amazed and upset at how vicious and cruel and unnecessary people are. Just all of the videos people made when I wasn't even mentioning it as a big deal. I was doing a tribute video.
You mentioned my videos. I'm not cruel or unusual or anything like that to you. My pause games suck for you, but hey, that's not my fault.
To Charlie and being like, we were all hoping that he was going to take the step and become Catholic, gave no details. And the next thing I knew,
Orthodox as
Operation
well. Yeah,
Christian
exactly.
Zionist Influencer was, while I was in a state of trauma and grieving, coming after me and saying that it wasn't true. And I don't think any of them have made videos since clarifying that no, Candace seems to have been telling the truth, because who cares about the truth when you can just like...
How does this prove that he was converting from evangelicalism to Catholicism, Candace? This doesn't make any sense. Do you know that? Did you know that Catholicism doesn't own St. Michael? I'm so confused.
Dunk on Candace, but I thought that was a very natural way to kind of respond to it. And, you know, she's probably not going to give us any more because she doesn't have to give us any more. Like I said from the beginning, he didn't convert to Catholicism, but it's just kind of okay.
Oh, yeah, he wore a cross, not a crucifix, too. Yeah, a crucifix is the Catholic symbol. Crucifix would actually have Jesus on it, right? Is that the difference? What is the difference between a cross and a crucifix? Is there actually... What is the... Let's see. The main difference between the cross and the crucifix is that a cross is a simple T-shaped symbol representing Christianity, while the crucifix includes the depiction of Jesus' body on it. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that too. Candace doesn't know her own religion at all. She knows nothing about it. That's crazy. That is absolutely embarrassing. I am embarrassed for Candace there. That was very silly. Come on. Snap it. Nope. Great. Okay, I got it. Anyway. That's crazy. So, yeah. So, crucifix has Jesus on it. He wasn't wearing that. He wasn't wearing... Oh, my God. That pause game... How did I not see that? I didn't expect her to look like she was screaming like an old man. That's amazing. I'm sorry.
For us to tell the truth about where he was at on his spiritual journey. I don't know why that's a big deal at all.
Oh my
outside
God.
Of just
that's
hating
wild.
Catholics, which is what I am receiving a lot of that as. And there's just been so many lies that have been told, and we're going to get into more of them.
Yeah, you just told one. We heard you. You've made it up that he was converting to Catholicism. The preacher, you could have just stopped there. That would have been the most convincing thing. That's where Candace should have stopped for sure.
Later, and the frustration that I have with people who purport to care about Charlie, why they peddle ridiculous, tiny lies. Doesn't make sense.
Feel free to subscribe and like
Anyways,
and all that
but
good
keeping
stuff,
with
guys.
Erica's interview,
really appreciate it.
She was asked directly, and this is
do.
probably the most viral moment from the sit down,
And also to join my Discord.
about how she personally feels about the conspiracy theories that are circulating regarding his murder. And here is her answer.
There's other theories swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died. It became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself because I need to guard my heart, and I need to be there for my kids.
It's a good screenshot.
And I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently.
Yeah, it seems so,
Everyone is
Julia.
trying to figure out, and I don't blame them. How does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head?
And Erica's got a really, really good response for this, genuinely. Like, hey, I don't blame people for digging, which is fine, but Candace has done a lot more than digging. See, Blair White, I gave, is the example of somebody who's actually digging properly, not pointing all the fingers. Candace is like TPUSA. The problem is now Candace has put herself in a very dangerous box here. No pun intended here. But anyway, she's put herself in a very dangerous box she knows she's in. She's trying to be really nice to Erica Kirk because publicity. The problem is it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Because if TPUSA is in on it. By default, Erica Kirk would have to be. Or they'd be holding her hostage and her family hostage. And if that's the case, Candace isn't even mentioning that either, and I would wonder why.
We just lost one of the greatest voices of our generation. Why? How? What's behind it? Like, everyone's trying to process this. And I respect that. But where my heart is just asking for some grace is for the ones who were there that day. They have to relive that every single day. He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer.
Right.
He was assassinated.
Yeah, exactly. It's unusual, right? I mean, that's a big, big event. Again, another reason for that gag order, Candace, if you could just wrap your mind around that. I know you said it's a tiny little engine, but try to keep up with it. This is a huge profile case that unfolded in one of the craziest possible ways that we haven't seen in quite a long time, successfully. And that's a crazy amount. That's just a crazy event to have happen, especially in the digital age. Look at how huge John F. Kennedy's situation was, right? Now it's more popular than that only because every single person has a cell phone. Every single person that was like, hey, something like that happened. What? They opened their phone and they saw it happen. Nobody in the 1960s saw what happened to JFK until they got the cleaned up version, the best shot version on television. That's crazy, right? And they sure didn't get reruns of it until documentaries came out. Things took a long time still back then for news to get around and for people to really grasp what actually happened. Most people in the 60s probably never even saw the footage until years later. So at the end of the day, I could totally understand why Charlie Kirk's is so much bigger, but she needs to understand that with that many eyes on it, things are going to be really, really problematic if this trial gets screwed up. They don't want a mistrial. It's not that they think they found this kid and they're going to make it guilty. They don't want a mistrial because they probably have a lot of evidence to show. And that would be terrible if the jury pool was corrupted.
And the difference between this and previous assassinations in this country is there was no social media. There was no AI.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you how many fake images are out there of all of this.
Yeah.
And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online because it's going to impact his kids in the future.
She's talking about Candace. She's talking about Candace right here, and I think Candace is either A, completely oblivious, or she's choosing not to address this.
I don't want my kids to go on the internet one day when they're older and see things that it's just, we're all trying to process this in their own way, and I appreciate that. But just some grace would be nice.
Yeah, exactly, Julia. 100%.
So I think it's a gracious answer, and I think it's a gracious request to, assert first and foremost that people are doing this because they care and they care about Charlie, and also this was a traumatic event that the entire world experienced, and also the reason why the internet is investigating is because the feds
So why talk about the other part too, not just that first part.
Aren't, and not only are they not investigating, they're telling some pretty obvious lies, right? Number one being
she decided not to think about what she was telling everybody. She's saying that these are all obvious lies. And check this out, number one lie.
He was shot by a 30-06 and stopped.
No, he was shot by a bullet. Okay? The bullet. Which one was it? And I guarantee you we're going to find out what caliber it was probably in the trial. If we don't, I'll be suspicious. But I'm willing to bet they're going to say exactly what kind. If it was the Remington Coyote shot or not, 55 grain. Or if it was actual bear shot. I guess we'll say. And it's not, they don't make bear shot, it's a slug, but you get what I'm saying, right? I'm not the most technical person when it comes to this stuff. But at the end of the day, there's different rounds that can fly out of that thing, Candace. Some of them are very weak. Some of them are meant to take out a 16 to 45-pound wild dog without going through them, they're significantly more brittle than humans. Significantly. So if he was hit with that, I have no doubt it would have done the job. I have no doubt. It would not have gone all the way through him at all. Not even close.
The bullet, when in a normal circumstance, it would have decapitated him. Like a
No, it would not have. Even with the bear, like even with it being a slug, it wouldn't decapitate. It would have made an exit. But what are you talking about? A slug like this, like that big around and like that long is going to just rip your whole head off? That's completely and totally ridiculous. It's not a 50 cal. Even in situations with a 50 cal, that might not happen. It's going to punch a hole right through and keep going. Like, what are you talking about?
will decapitate someone.
No, it won't.
Because they've been so
normally.
ridiculous and then
Maybe it's some
gaslighting
angles.
us by being like, you're dishonoring
Possibly.
Charlie's legacy. People are digging their feet in the ground because
not
it's-
every time,
it's
not even
just
close. It's
disrupts
probably
us
not as likely.
spiritually to watch something like that and then be told.
Yeah, exactly. She's implying people are blowing 2-foot holes in deer and stuff. Like, as if a deer, like the neck of a deer, like it is, don't get me wrong, it's crazy stronger than a human's neck. But man, it's not so insane that they're lifting cars with their neck. That you know how much stronger a deer would have to be than a human to have it not have devastating results like that? Are you kidding me?
Like nothing to see
That's
here.
insane.
Now, here's what I will say about her request to
Man.
consider the people that were there that day. The people that were there that day experienced a trauma because they watched Charlie Kirk die, or maybe they didn't see him die, maybe watched him get shot, heard the shot, who knows what the exact specs are. This is where it's going to be really hard for Erica to be a CEO and to be somebody who is a widow at the same time.
Hey, she is TPUSA. Is she in on it or not, Candace? Really should be a simple question to answer, but you know people are asking it, Candace.
Time, right? Because the messaging that is coming out of Turning Point USA, so this is Erica in her CEO and her chairman capacity, has just been unacceptable, right? It can't be both. It can't be, okay, everybody, we're going to keep going. And, you know, Mikey's going to take over for Charlie at his Liberty event that he has, which is going to be sold out. And Turning Point USA people who are directors of faith are going to be telling you, like,
wait, are they really shooting it from 6 foot? They're not even shooting it from the full 200? That's how they're demonstrating it and showing the velocity of it? Really? That's hilarious. I got a video I'm going to be showing here soon. Saying his bones stopped the bullet is much more ridiculous. Not if it's Coyote shot. You think it would have gone through his spine? 55 grain? 30-06? Absolutely not. It won't even go through a Coyote. That's the point. You buy certain rounds for your weapon so you don't accidentally end a neighbor or somebody out there in the middle of the woods that you weren't intending on hitting. See, there's different grains. There's 225 grain that take out bear, moose, stuff like that. And then there's 55 grain all the way down the spectrum for if you want to take out a 16 to 45 pound dog, wild dog out in the country. So that's kind of the point. So what did he get hit with? Because there's not just one 30-06 bullet, and people are leaving that out. That's the big problem that I'm having with this. And we're going to find that evidence out probably when the trial happens. And Candace is just like, no way. There's only one bullet they make for the 30-06. It would have decapitated him. It's like, that one bullet also would not have necessarily decapitated him. It depends on what it hit, how it hit, what angle it came from. Because people get shot with 50 cal too. And don't necessarily lose their whole limb. Or their head or something like that. You know, a lot of that stuff you got to think is going, if it's, especially the more powerful it is, the more likely it is to just punch through and keep going and leave a hole. It might not, unless it hits something like really hard directly, it's not going to flatten like a pancake, you know, especially a slug. You know what I mean? A hollow point would be a lot more likely to do that, but you ain't going to do that from 200 yards either. Yeah, Valkyrie did, 40 did it from 200 yards with a vest and a half-assed ballistic dummy and pulled it off on the 3rd try. Gotcha. See? That's crazy.
Mikey's
yeah,
got
see,
what
you
it
have to
takes,
get it
here's what
directly.
blah, blah, blah. And then Mike.
And I doubt any of the people actually know the exact trajectory of where that bullet hit and where it ended up in the neck. Because we don't have that information released yet. So that's kind of my point. We don't know that the 30-06 story isn't true at all. In fact, it could be the most likely scenario that he was hit with a 30-06. Could be most likely, depending on what the round was they used.
He's going to tell stories about that day, go on his show multiple times. Andrew's going to talk about it. Everyone's going to talk about it. And they don't want to talk about the stuff that we care about. Like, this is what it means to have a podcast, right? You can't want fame only on your command. This is kind of the Meghan Markle thing, right? That we talk about. And I'm quoting this to Mikey McCoy.
Okay. I don't care. I'm going to show this real quick because this guy, Paramount Tactical, people should go subscribe to him for sure. This video he shows is a lot of the footage that Candace, for some reason, won't go over of what happened that day. And I think it would be good to watch this and actually get some of the live footage that Candace is saying didn't actually exist.
Here with Paramount, I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm getting ready to share some video and
Oh,
photos
that's all
with
the way
you
up.
that I think
He's
is probably
quiet.
the most important video and photos that have come
There we
out in
go.
the last 2 to 3 weeks since the Charlie Kirk assassination. Just the other day, I released a video, Wednesday as a matter of fact,
when
and
was
it was
this
titled, Did Charlie Kirk's security team betray
3 weeks
him?
ago, okay.
If you
So
are
these photos and
genuinely
stuff are like 6 weeks
interested
old.
in
So
the
right
truth,
around-
and
right
you would
around
like
when it
as much information as you possibly can have to come to a good conclusion, right? We got to have good information to make good conclusions. I highly suggest that you go watch that video.
exactly.
As a matter of fact, this video right here is kind of a follow-up to that video. So please go watch that video. I'll put the link down in the description below, and that will give you a better context for what we're going to be talking about and showing you today as
hard
well.
plastic
In that video,
dummy?
I talk
Wow.
about the proper
Okay.
protocols and
That
the
makes
medical
sense.
interventions that should have taken place behind that table by his security team. I show you
Yes.
what those look like, and I compare and contrast to what we actually see. I also highlight in that video the fact that only one person would actually be able to do hemorrhage control on Charlie Kirk at any one time. And I talk about...
Yeah, because obviously, it's on his neck. And if you're, you got to know. This is what kind of my point to Candace. So I was trained in CPR and stuff like that. And a lot of the people that I worked with were ex-military and ex-police. That's just, at Google, they really, really liked ex-police, ex-military. I had been at Google for a long, long, long time, which is why they brought me in as a security guard and then brought me in as a supervisor relatively easy because I had been there for like 12, 13 years. I started there in 2013. I think I started at Google. Yeah, I believe it was no, it wasn't. It was 2012. I started at Google in 2012. Yeah, I started like September of 2012. So that was crazy. So yeah, September of 2012, I ended up starting out over at Google. Now, when I say that, obviously I was with a contracted security company. Now, here's the deal. A lot of, like I said, a lot of these guys were ex-military and stuff, and they would talk about, hey, actually, when I was deployed overseas, we had to do this a lot, and they very explicitly told me when somebody's shot in the neck or head or so, you don't want to tourniquet that area because that's also their airway. So doing hemorrhage control, and that's very difficult. We did not learn how to do that for our CPR by any means, but a lot of those guys would be like, hey, what if this happens? And they're like, look, you're getting I think it was like level 1 and level 2 CPR or something like that. We ran the AEDs, we did all the fancy stuff that all the Googlers wanted us to learn specifically. Ours was a little modified from the original courses. They had their own there because Googlers deemed what was more important than other situations that they wanted us to be trained for, especially electrical ones because it's a giant data center. So we learned a lot of that stuff too. And, it just is what it is. But we didn't learn how to properly hemorrhage the bleeding on a neck wound. And I imagine most people that are in security wouldn't learn that either, including Charlie's team. Now, some of them may have. I would imagine some of them may have because they would probably be like, hey, in case of a situation like this. So they probably would have at least 1 or 2 maybe specially trained people. But that's kind of the point.
Some of the things being said, there should be blood everywhere. People would have blood all over them. I show you exactly what that should look like through a recreation. I show you what I look like doing wound packing, hemorrhage control, and how much blood I ended up having on me. All right, folks, I want you to actually look at what's going on here. You see, I got a little bit of blood on my pants. Yeah, I got some blood on my hands. I hate this stuff. stains to everything.
He should have
Look, we got
done the whole
2 liters of blood back here. So
He
the
should have
thing
just
that I
filmed
highlight
that.
in that video
Oh, he did that in a previous video. Okay, I see. He's showing a recap.
is that I believe it's this guy right here that is doing the hemorrhage control. And if he is doing things right, if they're competent back there, he's going to be the only one that has blood on him. Everybody else is just assisting him and everything else. Well,
that's because, you know, once it hit, you know, it's not like it's just going to spray for the next like 10 minutes. It's not how that works.
I posted that video Wednesday. It was actually removed by YouTube Wednesday evening. I had to re-edit the video.
Yeah,
and then I
well, not emergency department nurses. My wife, she's a nurse, so she obviously knows how to do it because things happen. You know, you may have to run a stint into like a carotid artery or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they deal with a lot of stuff, and now she's actually on she does a lot of like heart work, I guess you could say now. I'm not going to say exactly where or what department, but she does a lot of heart work now, and that stuff, you know. There are a lot of situations that can be really, really, really bad. There's one thing she has to do where she has to let air out very slowly to return blood somewhere. And if you do it too fast, it could like actually hemorrhage your veins or your artery. It's specifically your artery. Yeah. It could hemorrhage your artery if you let it out too fast and let that blood just hit. So they have to slowly let this air out, and it's freaky. But yeah, at the end of the day, she knows how to do that type of work, you know, to plug the wound. And you don't, like, put air-constricting pressure.
Posted it Thursday morning.
And she also mentioned that you would probably want to elevate the legs. So Candace is like, they needs to be laid flat. He needs to be laid flat. And it's like, no, you might need to have him up at an angle so you could pull his legs up to return blood from the lower half up to the upper half. Because the upper half is draining out, you're going to need the blood from the lower half, pack in the wound, raise those legs up, and then get that blood circulating again. But Candace, the know-it-all, you know, obviously thinks that was done the wrong way.
One of the other things I did was
this guy's going to show that it wasn't.
X as well. Now, in response to that, I suddenly got all these brand new pictures and video that I had never seen before. And those new pictures and video corroborate everything that I say is likely happening behind that table. So here's the footage that we have here. I'll pause it right here. This is the guy that I said I believed was doing hemorrhage control on Charlie Kirk. Even as he's standing by the ETV, you can see that his hands actually do have blood on them.
A little bit on
Here we have another guy that was helping carry Charlie. We can see that he has blood on his arm. And if we look, here's his head of security. If you look closely at his knee, we can see that there's some blood transfer on his knee as well.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to the guy that I said was doing the hemorrhage control. All right. This is the guy that if there's going to be blood on somebody, it's going to be on him. Now, understand, we could not see what was going on behind that table. We couldn't see his hands. We also have really bad footage throughout this. This is by far the best footage that I've seen documenting this event. So here's some other footage. Same exact guy. We see blood on his left hand. We see blood on his right hand. We see blood on his
Yeah, see exactly where I had said too.
Pants, his right forearm, his bicep, his left bicep. And here we can see we have a significant amount of blood on his left pant leg as well. So there's 2 narratives here that are just objectively wrong. One is the idea that there's going to be blood everywhere. That's incorrect. If you're doing proper hemorrhage control, you're not going to see blood everywhere. And number 2, the other one
Right, because the whole point is he's stopping the bleeding. The point. He's stopping it.
Keep hearing is no one has any blood on them. That's also obviously incorrect. This is exactly the amount of blood that I would expect to see. The guy doing hemorrhage control, doing the wound packing, he's going to have blood on his hands. He's going to be down there on his knees. He might even have had Charlie's head in his...
Keep in mind, all of this took place and Charlie had left before anybody started pulling cameras down. Okay? That's a narrative that Candace would like to put. Now, if you guys want to see all the rest of this video here, I would really, really recommend you guys go to this guy's channel, subscribe to him, give him a like, because it's a good video, and it debunks a lot of the crap that Candace has talked about. She's openly said that there's no blood, that it's weird, and that these guys went and got the cameras faster than Charlie Kirk took to drop to the ground. You know, not literally, but figuratively speaking. She's saying, I'm paraphrasing. Anyway, that part I paraphrased. But she's saying that it happened so fast. And that these guys did nothing. They had no blood on him. That it's weird. That he was in the wrong position. That he should have been flat on the ground. And she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I talked to my wife about this, and she's like, well, flat would be good, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing and you're packing the wound and you raise his lower extremities up to return the blood that hasn't been drained out, you know what I mean? That's what should be happening. Because having an artery bleed out like that, you're going to have to move quick. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for him to be laying flat on the ground for a long period of time at all. You have work to do on him to save his life if you are experienced. And I have a reason to believe that these people probably were, because that guy was packing the wound. He wasn't putting pressure on trying to tourniquet like some moron would do that doesn't know what they're doing. That they see a wound somewhere. It's like they have the knowledge to know that they can't do that, and they're packing that wound up. He tried to save his life. And if it wasn't, if this was all an inside job, it would be stupid if they didn't try to save his life, right? Like, they should have put every effort in to do it. Because that would not make them look so guilty. You know? Makes sense to me anyway. It doesn't make sense with this whole, like, narratives that she's putting out there. Like, oh, but look at what they did here. You know, there's this little nuanced piece of evidence that, you know, happened. Like, using a 30-06, they recovered a gun that would never work. And it's like, do you think these people who are in the military, who are experts, who flew apparently from Egypt all the way to carry out an assassination, you think they wouldn't know that about the 30-06? You think they wouldn't just give him something that could be shot from a distance that wouldn't do as much damage? You think they wouldn't have factored that part in? Yeah, let's give the guy and tell everybody in the country that he used a bazooka to take this guy out. Does that make sense to you guys? At all? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just get an accurate weapon that would do the job? You know what I mean? Like, does it make any sense to anybody that they would just come out and make such a huge mistake being such experts at this? Like, people in the people in the military just wouldn't know what to do, but the online experts know more. It's unbelievable.
In his lap. Wow.
Anyway, let's get back to Candace, though. Definitely go subscribe to this guy. And tell him in the comment section that I sent you. It would be nice. Help me out a lot, too. But, yeah, that guy's awesome. Go subscribe to him, whether he responds to it or not. Doesn't matter. He has a good channel.
It's like everybody wants to be famous until you're famous, okay? We want privacy now. Well,
I
it doesn't
bet you hate it so much, Candace. This is a great way to jump right back into you.
actually work that way. You don't get to be like, I want to marry you and I want to be a princess and then become a princess. And you're like, well, I don't want to be a princess, right? It's kind of, you got to pick one or the other. So if there were turning point individuals who were so traumatized that day and they needed to,
I feel like her social battery's draining, guys.
Go away. I mean, I had to go away for 2 weeks to collect my thoughts about the trauma that I saw having watched it. And a lot of people I know that had to take breaks. I had to take the show off the air for a couple of days and they just, needed time to process. It'd be a little bit different. Actually, it's almost came across like they needed zero time to process and they were kind of annoyed that the world needed time to process. And then the things that they were telling us were lies. We were able to factually debunk things that we were being told.
Name one. You haven't debunked anything. You have not, like, there has not been one debunking so far in any episode you've put out. And she won't even name one specifically.
And then you've got people like Tyler, who's featured in this, Tyler Boyer, who you're the chairman and the CEO. Tyler Boyer is a sexual deviant, right? Why do we have to because he was at the hospital, give him grace? But it's like, no, this is this is now what's at the head of the company. Charlie's not there. We want to make sure that this company is going to be committed to truth. We want to make sure this company is not.
Yeah, exactly. She's disrespecting anything Erica Kirk would be in there. And yeah, you're right, Madness. 100%. But yeah, she is blatantly disrespecting Erica Kirk right now. And she won't admit that. It's funny because she cannot agree that Erica is not involved and hold these views at the same time. She can't. It's not compatible. Erica Kirk is either involved or being held hostage by TPUSA, but Candace will not dare come out and say one or the other on that.
Not going to be
wild, huh?
telling us that we can't care about this or not be focused on that because we need to decide
She
whether
is a
this is still the
narcissist.
same company. That's what it means, right? Is this still the same company? And so I think with the McCoy thing,
he should sue her
everyone wanted a stage until you
if
got a
that's the
stage.
case.
Okay. And people started going
May have
lie,
misheard it.
lie. Right.
I
Case
don't
in
know.
point, Alex Clark wanted to do the Wall Street Journal thing until I caught like this little lie. And it's like, what are you saying this thing about Catholics? That's not true. Okay. Take the stage or don't take the stage, but it can't be in between. And then suddenly when the public turns against you, I don't want a stage anymore. That would be my response to that. And I do not have any sympathy for Rob McCoy. I have no sympathy for Mikey McCoy. I have no sympathy for Tyler Boyer. I think telling the truth is a very easy thing to do when you have a microphone. And if you don't want to tell the truth, it just makes you look more suspicious. And I can give you
Well, I mean, don't have to tell me twice, Candace.
an example of that. There was some kid who was wearing green at this UVU.
Yeah, exactly. Erica, please leave these people alone. And Candace is just like, no. That is pretty much what's happening. I think Candace is waiting, personally, on Erica Kirk to actually formally say something. And then Candace could start making her accusations. Because then it would be like, hey, the first rock was casted. If Erica's smart, she'll never address Candace. And this will make Candace look terrible throughout the whole thing, whether Erica's actually in on it or not. And we'll see who comes out like looking the best. Because right now, nobody necessarily smells like roses, but I can tell you this: one smells like absolute crap right now, and Candace is just not doing a good job at backing her claims.
Events, right? They looked kind of shady. There was a ton of rumors. We got a bunch of emails, but I never covered it on the show because I didn't think there was anything beyond the fact that he looked kind of shady in a green hoodie. And I think it was yesterday, Sam Parker.
I don't know.
Who
I don't
are
care
these
about this
guys?
guy.
And I can't get a clear image of this person. I then respond to him like, here's a clear image of this person. The actual person wearing the green hoodie then responds very quickly. He's like, that's me. Sorry, I dress weird. I think he's on the soccer team at UVU. And
I don't care about
that's
this.
it. It's over. And nobody is talking about the green hoodie. Here he is, Colby Sessions. Hey guys, this is me. My teammate and I were just on campus to get food and stop by the event. We always wear silly stuff like that. Sorry guys. That's it.
Okay. You did you address it again though? I mean, it's just like I didn't care about it from the beginning because it didn't mean anything. And then this guy's like, "Hey, I did a thing," and then she just doesn't address it again till now.
How
All right.
easy, right? How easy. He's not like, I'm a victim. Call a lawyer.
You still won't apologize though. Candace will never apologize for any wrongdoing that she does. And that's what's funny about it. She wouldn't apologize for social autopsy, even when confronted by Blair White. She's not going to apologize for lying about how she met Kanye West either, when she met him back in 2017. And she pretends to this day that her and Charlie manifested him magically, you know? When actually it was Dave Rubin who had introduced her. Wild how that
I
works.
can't believe somebody asked a question. I can't believe
Wild.
there's interest in this event where an assassination took place. No, people are asking because they're well-meaning, and he just comes right back and answers it, and it's over. That's how easy, that's how quick, that's how painless it is when you simply tell the truth. And I just don't feel that anything that's been easy to clarify has been done, and it can't be because they're in a state of mourning, because they were like back on their feet the next day and giddy and sharing memories and talking about what happened on that day in detail. So,
Okay,
except for the
so-
parts that we want to know about. I don't know. Doesn't work for me. Anyways,
Well, there is yet again, a court coming up, a trial. It would be very, very, very irresponsible to come out and say anything at this point in time until the trial has had its day. Like, I don't understand the confusion about this, Candace. Especially when they think they got the guy already, right? Kanye just hugged a rabbit. I'm sure he is having a meltdown. That's funny. I do want to hear what she says about that. We did watch that.
if you guys want to watch
video.
that interview in
It's
its
very
entirety, you
funny.
definitely should. It is available
watched it at the
on
beginning of
Fox
the stream.
News, Fox News Prime Time, Jesse Waters. And that's what we're going to say about that. Take a brief break, and we're going to get into some Christian Zionist influencers.
Okay.
I've been
Christian
speaking to you
Zionist
guys a lot about
influencers.
Riverbend Ranch because I love their steak.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm not watching your stinking ads here. If they want to sponsor me, then I'll play them. I'll just play her ads. That'd be so funny.
All right, let's start with a little back forth that I had with Allie Beth Stuckey
What if
online.
anyone's done that?
I'll start actually by saying some nice things about Allie Beth.
I'm gonna take one of Bearing's sponsors and then I'm just gonna clip Bearing's like ad for it and post it. That'd be so funny to do. Oh man, I wonder if you could get. I wonder how much trouble you could get in for doing something like that. But as a parody, I think it'd be very fun. I think I should just do that actually. Just like slightly change the name of like one of the sponsors, put it in like as a video and be like, I'm sponsored by Floofy or something like that, and have her talk about like the whole farm and all that. But every time, just edit it in to where it's like Floofy every time or something. That'd be very funny instead of the actual company name. I don't know. I wonder how much trouble I could get in for just doing that. But, you know, obviously I wouldn't actually be sponsored by him. It'd just be a parody
Stuckey
thing.
because one of the things that I am working on is being a lot more measured when I'm ticked off about something. And I realize that this particular subject is just, I just instantly want to go claws out. And there's a lot of great things about Allie Stuckey. I've actually worked with Allie Stuckey at various events. I've spoken with Allie Stuckey. She's been on my podcast multiple times. She's been a panelist back when I was on The Daily Wire. I'm referring to, she debated my husband. Before I was Catholic, they had a very good sit down, and she's always been very kind. Behind the scenes, I will always tell you guys, if there's tea, there actually isn't any on Allie Stuckey. She's always been a very lovely person. And especially because when I was first coming into the industry, and people were dunking on me for all sorts of things, she actually like hosted me on her show and had a conversation rather than just kind of joining the choir. So yeah, I am not addressing this because Allie is a bad human being. I'm addressing this because she has been addressing me actually,
she's been calling out your bullcrap.
subtweeting these sorts of things. And I feel like it's fair that when people engage in that sort of behavior that I get to respond. Somehow people are allowed to talk about me, and then when I respond, some people will suddenly be like, I stand with so-and-so. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just answering someone. For me, this topic, Charlie Kirk, who murdered him, there isn't a single topic in politics that is happening on this planet that I care more about, okay? It is the killing of Charlie Kirk and nothing else for me. And in the aftermath of his assassination, people were downright nasty to me. You saw that. It was definitively not organic. It was this weird need to assert his legacy as a Christian Zionist.
Hey guys, just letting you know, I'm not organic at all. Jews just be giving me money. 15,000 subscriber channel. I make 70 cents a video. I'm obviously worth a lot, a whole lot. So you know, I'm just rolling in it. I guess it's not organic at all. They just paid me off to do this. Wouldn't that be crazy, right? Candace is out of her mind. I'm not making a damn dime covering any of this. Okay, that's not true. I made 70 cents on the last live stream. I'm rich. It's great.
By the way, I'm not including Allie in the downright nasty category whatsoever.
Anymore?
But she was one of the voices who cast unnecessary shade, I would say, on my account of him becoming Catholic curious. And it was unnecessary, I would say, only because she could have texted me. She has my number. This is one of the things that Matt Walsh recently said.
Yeah, no, it's so stupid. You've already made your stuff public. She doesn't need to message you and ask you for clarification when she thinks you've already clarified. What would be the point? Oh, let me ask you of everything that you've already said on your video. That doesn't even make sense.
He views it as such a form of disloyalty when you have access to an individual, but you will instead go onto your platform to say something about that individual when you could ask for clarity, right? She could have messaged me and say, hey, I've never heard anything about Charlie being interested in Catholicism. And I would have said to her, hey, privately, he was going to mass sometimes daily. He was going on Sundays. He died with the pendant, but that didn't happen. Anyways, she's asserted that she's a friend of Charlie Kirk. She certainly has worked with Charlie Kirk for years. All that is true. We are natural allies because we are committed to wanting there to be justice and genuinely are both upset by Charlie being no longer here, not seeing where Charlie was supposed to go in his life, having his life cut short in the most traumatic terms possible. But it feels to me that there are some people who only want to use their platforms to dispel something that I am saying that they think is untrue.
So, okay. That's your feeling, though? How's that any different than thinking something's untrue? I guess, Candace and her feelings again.
Even when I present proof that it is true. And an example of that is...
Yeah, what? Is it going to be the Catholic thing?
This morning. So yesterday, I said to you guys, as a person
thank you for the
who
super
worked
chat,
at
Bronx
Turning
Girl. I
Point
appreciate
USA,
that.
who toured with Charlie the most,
no, I can't. I'm
okay? There's
officially
a
bought
single
out. Thank
person
you.
who can say, I headlined...
Let's start bombing random places. That's how they do it, right? No? Yeah, I don't know. Anybody trying to say that I'm bought out by Israel is completely and totally insane. I obviously am not exactly the most PC person. I mean, I be PC for YouTube in a sense, but you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I don't know. To think that Egypt, Israel, TPUSA, the United States government, Donald Trump, possibly Mr. Beast, I don't know, all these people are, you know, in on it all at once. Oh, and she mentions the college campus being in on it too here, like later on. Like they're behind it. To say all of that and all these people are keeping their mouths shut, that's a wild stretch.
Find more,
you know?
Turning Point
but no,
USA.
Genuinely, thank you so much, Bronx Girl.
Campus
I
tours
appreciate
and
that.
Candace Owens. Just, okay, I know what I'm talking about, right? It's a very strange thing to not know what the inner workings are and to then accuse somebody who shows an email, as I did yesterday, that these events
CC,
are
I
booked
think you're right.
the semester before, okay? There's a long waiting
Julia.
list. Everybody wants Charlie or
Same with you,
Candace,
Ed.
whoever it is, Don Jr., to come to their campus. And they make those requests early. The Turning Point chapters, they have so many of them. And so they are constantly running behind on those requests. And it's a...
Okay, you're saying they as like, you know, TPUSA, that's fine and all. But I mean, we don't know specifically what happened between them and UVU. We just don't. So you're saying that it's weird, but it's not. Might not be that weird because it's still 60 days.
Very long process because the administrations at these campuses naturally hate Turning Point USA in particular because Charlie started the organization to disrupt college campuses. So they give these kids a very hard time over everything. When I tell you a hard time, when Charlie and I were speaking at Stanford, the student who put the event together, her grandfather owned one of the buildings at Stanford. Like, her name was on one of the buildings at Stanford University.
Is Stanford UVU, though? I have a feeling Stanford is incredibly more left-wing than UVU. Or at least has way more left-wing students going to them.
And they still gave her a hard time pulling this event together, right? It doesn't matter. It's more the...
How many days did it take, though, Candace? And tell me that there's not one single day on your roster that one wasn't scheduled, that popped up earlier than maybe a different college. They all run differently, Candace. They're not all ran by the same person. It doesn't, what she's saying doesn't make sense. She doesn't even show any proof for it.
Sentiment of who you are as a political person and as a political organization. And they will try to stop you.
And that's it.
And that is why
over her 3 years.
Strange, as in it has never happened while I toured for 9 semesters, 2019.
That's not a good place to be right now.
8 semesters with Charlie, like in a row. It's never happened.
8 semesters. So she did it 8 semesters. That's like the equivalent of like 3 years, give or take, you know, with taking summers out and stuff like that and different breaks. And not to mention, it's not like she consistently went for 3 years or like it was a consistent thing. She'd do like 1 to maybe 2 a month. The whole equivalent of those hours, assuming that each one of them was 2.5 hours, doing the math on that, that's roughly 144 hours. That's literally like saying, I was the manager of a Walmart for 1 month, and I know how every single Walmart throughout the United States operates. That's about the equivalent of that. That doesn't make any sense, Candace. None. So no, you can't sit there and tell me you know exactly how TPUSA booked all of its events when they've been booking events for like 15 years. You got to see 3 years out of it and barely any of it, to say the least. Think about all the people Charlie has booking, from Tatum to just all the other people that go around with Riley Gaines and all these other people that all get booked that you're not there for at all. You don't actually know, Candace. You think you know, but you don't know. You saw a small fragment of what was going on at TPUSA.
College makes a request over the summer when school is closed.
And what do you want to bet that she was not involved in any of it? They were just like, hey, do you want to speak at this college? And she said yes. And they're like, okay, we'll take care of it on our end. Then we'll give you the dates through the email. And that's probably exactly how that happened. She was not part of the process whatsoever of making calls to these campuses, I would willingly bet.
Because it was, okay, at the end of July.
Charlie had a team.
School was not in session. And then it gets honored by Turning Point USA immediately. And then it's on the calendar. Could you imagine the
60 days is immediately, guys. Do you know the normal time frame she's talking about? She's talking about 5 to 6 months is how long it takes to approve. It took 2 months to approve. Does that sound like instantly to you?
university getting that email? They already hate Charlie Kirk, and they're going to honor it and be like, not only do we want to honor this, we'll give you the first week back to school. Like, that's what they're telling us, and it doesn't make any sense. And I pointed that out, and I showed proof of that. What are you disagreeing with actually? Like, when you jump into this, what is motivating your disagreement would be my question. I will read her tweets, and then I will respond to them. So she does a total false debunking by sharing a private message.
Wait, a false debunking, huh? Let's see this.
Exchange between her and Charlie. This is what she tweeted. She said, the latest claim is that TPUSA must have been in on Charlie's murder because the UVU campus stop was approved in July. It was not approved in July. It was requested in July.
And it was requested in July. Then there's August, and then there's September. And they requested it during the summertime where there were very little students in comparison to the normal year. And they're in a more conservative state. Probably both of those make it just a little bit easier to get it approved. And they had it apparently for early November. So there's that. But they could have bumped it up. Who knows? It just depends on what they were talking about. Like, I agree that maybe TPUSA should just release all the information on that. Hey, how did you get approved so early? I don't know. Maybe TPUSA should just come out with it and, I don't know, maybe debunk it. But at the same time, might not be a good idea because, again, it's revolving around Charlie Kirk and they're having a hard time talking about it, knowing they're putting information out to the public that would possibly implicate Tyler Robinson more than what the public already knows. Again, they have to select a jury. Now, I personally think they should select a jury and sequester the jury and then start talking about everything, but I don't know if that's the best move or not, per se. Maybe keeping all this stuff out of the public is the best move? I'm not sure. But I know we're going to find out during the trial.
And that's too short of a timeline for an event in September. That is not true. Charlie texted me at the end of August for a campus event in early November. That's about 2 months out. And the reason he didn't specify which campus is because he didn't even know yet. He just knew it was going to be in Alabama. So yes, it does seem like part of this year's campus tour was being put together at the last minute, and UVU being booked over the summer isn't actually unusual. No, hey, would love to have you join us on campus on November 3rd.
Okay.
What does this prove? It proves that Charlie invited her to join him on campus on November 3rd.
Okay. And what do your tour dates have to prove anything? You showed 3 of them that took about 5 to 6 months to get approved and set in. Why is 4 months, like, it has to take 6 months to get approved for every single college in the United States? There's like, how many colleges are in the United States? 25,000 different colleges, I think it is. Let me see how many colleges in the U.S. Is it 25,000? Oh, it didn't. Okay. How many? My keyboard didn't turn on. Let's see what it says now. There's approximately 6,000 colleges. Okay, not quite that many. There's like 25,000 hospitals, I think is what I looked up before. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, quite a bit of different college, or not quite a bit of different, but 6,000 colleges. And you mean to tell me that every single one of them has to function the same way? Every one of them. Doesn't make much sense to me, Candace. I think 2 months is probably acceptable. It's not instant. It's 60 days.
If he is giving you multiple locations, and I'm telling you this as someone who I worked for this organization, Allie, okay? It's probably because These are this is already approved. They're doing these campuses already. He's asking you which one to choose. Many times these students will be told to hold 2 dates that can possibly work. And they're going to get back to them and confirm and see who's available. They did not start planning that event when Charlie texted you. I can guarantee you that, okay?
You can't.
They didn't.
You can't actually guarantee that, Candace. You don't know. You think you know. You don't know. You don't have the proof. And to say, well, I've been here, I did it for 3 years out of like the 15 that they were doing it, is not enough experience, Candace. It's just not. And I guarantee you and Charlie would have never had a reason to bring this up in conversation whatsoever. Like, oh man, you know, why does it take this long? Oh, it has to take this long, Candace. Every one of them just has to take 6 months long. There's no way around it. There's, you know, oh, okay, Charlie, thank you so much for clarifying that point. So hard. Yeah, I bet that came up.
Not receive a request from those campuses on that day. It's an absurdity. I don't even know what we're debating. She then follows it up and she says this, since some of you guys are struggling, because people pointed out that's not what Candace said. It's a request that went from UVU chapter to Turning Point USA. She says, since some of you guys are struggling, no venue yet, 2 months out. There's...
Okay. Yeah. No venue. This is August 22nd. And Charlie said, yeah, so I don't know. It can be interpreted that way easily. And Candace is saying, no, it's, you know, he knows that there's going to be something, but, you know, it's probably the request was probably put out way before that. But we don't know that. We actually don't know when the request was put out. And so Candace is arguing from a position that she has no authority on, and so is Allie Beth. They're both arguing from positions they don't know anything about. So this is just a big old stupid fight. Candace has no idea when the request was put in, and neither does Allie Beth, and they're all arguing over it. That is probably one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard in my life. And I have seen a lot of Hassan videos. It's crazy.
Really a venue because Charlie is saying in this chat... November 3rd at, Mikey McCoy actually, November 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Either Auburn, which has 5,000 seats, or the University of Southern Alabama. Now, I told you that Charlie and I would divide and conquer, so there'd be multiple events going on at the same day. Charlie would headline one, I would headline the other. I will guarantee you, and I checked, they did both of these this semester because that's how it works, okay?
Yeah, maybe they did. Oh, thank you, Desert. I really appreciate that, man. Super stickers. I've kind of seen those before. Oh, I guess they're not new, though, are they? Huh. Yeah, man, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
He's asking you which one you want to join. They might
it's
both
like
be holding
exactly.
the auditoriums that they need to.
It's crazy.
But this was not being planned when they messaged you. They didn't receive the request the day that they messaged you and say, hey, do you want to make this happen? I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what the nature of this is. Then you get Lila Rose, who jumps in for no reason at all.
No reason.
The fact that she's a committed Christian Zionist. And she says something that's so far off the mark. At least Allie's showing something relevant to Turning Point USA, even though she maybe didn't watch what I said or she's confused about what the conversation was. It's well-meaning, okay? Lila Rose just comes out of left field with like, we're talking about apples and here's an orange.
Okay.
I speak regularly on college campuses as well. She starts with, this is not true. This is not true. What is not true? I showed the email. What is not true?
You showed an email of 3 events that all took place in 1 month, Candace. That was it. You didn't show anything else out of your 3 years there. You didn't show any proof that Charlie Kirk himself has not booked a college campus within 2 months. You haven't debunked anything. You've given us nuance from your small time with TPUSA. Again, 3 years out of 15 is nothing. You don't have enough experience.
I speak regularly at college campuses as well. As one example, I was just asked to speak at Stanford, and they were going to set the event up within 3 weeks. It didn't happen. It didn't materialize. They asked you to speak. What's the context? How many students? And then she goes on and she gives an example. When I debated a few weeks ago at Yale, the event was also planned within 2 months. Okay, so this is what happens when the chief debater, Charlie Kirk, is murdered. We're left with this, the people who can't think through the apples and the oranges. Lila, I am sure that if Taylor Swift tweets that it took her team a year to
Why Taylor Swift? Do you think she's as famous as Taylor Swift? What are you talking about?
put together her tour. I'm not going to respond and be like, this is not true. I toured Taylor Swift at campus events, and we were able to pull the event together in 6 months.
You're doing the same thing, Candace. You're doing the exact same thing Lila Rose is doing.
Apples, oranges. So that Yale event that Lila Rose spoke at was with the Yale Political Union. So it's existed since 1934. It runs like a well-oiled machine. I've spoken at the Oxford Union. They speak in the same place at the same time. They change the people that are speaking. You sit down with them. You have a dinner. This is Oxford again, not Yale. I've not spoken at Yale. You have a dinner.
So you don't know.
And you debate somebody. Okay.
So wait. There's nuance there. So Yale could be different. Guess where else you haven't been? UVU. You didn't show me any UVU emails. Why didn't you show us the UVU emails? And maybe she did do UVU. Has Candace ever been at UVU? Has Candace Owens ever spoke at UVU? Let's see. Has she? Search this. We'll see here. I don't think she has. There's no specific information indicating that Candace Owens has spoken at Utah University Valley. However, she has been involved in discussions and controversies related to the event. Well, yeah, we know that. Okay, I don't think she ever has. So, again, she's debunking herself right now by saying this. Isn't that crazy? She's literally debunking herself here. She is openly saying, like, well, I don't know anything about Yale and how they do it. Yeah, well, how would you know about UVU then? If you haven't done that one either. That's wild.
It's a debate union. It's what they do and what they've been doing since 1934. Lila had, and here's a picture of it, she's comparing this, 70 people that attended this debate, to Turning Point USA hosting a debate with thousands of people.
Why in the world would one take longer to approve than the other? Is there a specific reason? Can you iterate that?
Sometimes a vice president, sometimes a president. Like, what are you debating? What are you actually, like, when you pause and you think through, what are you debating me on? If you are going to dispute me, simply show me the information of somebody making a request.
No. That's not how it works, Candace. You don't get to put information out there with zero proof and then say, oh, well, you can't debate me because you got to debunk what I said. No, Candace, you got to provide proof of what you said. You have not proven that Charlie Kirk has not booked any college campuses within 2 months.
And having it instantly be honored at Turning Point USA, which runs like a machine, absolutely. But these events are big, okay? Ambulances are required. The university has to tell you, okay, well, if you've got 1,500 people, then this is the state law. They have to confirm they're available. This is the insurance that has to be, blah, 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 blah. Not the same thing, Lila, when you are debating an older woman regarding abortion in a political union, okay? It's just not the same.
Gotcha. That's a little bit better clarification, but not necessarily enough information to be like, okay, well, hers took 2 months. Why in the world would Charlie's take 6 months per se? I think every single thing Charlie did could also take place over the course of 2 months pretty easily. In fact, I think if Charlie really, really wanted to, and the college really, really wanted to, they could get everything booked and done within a couple of days. Don't think that's impossible. So you're going to have to really put into perspective why 2 weeks is just too long. Or 2 weeks. 2 months is just like too short of notice to get this event going. It doesn't make much sense because as many people as they have working for TPUSA and as many people that work for the college, it seems like they could probably have it come together pretty easily. Very few people have to make very many phone calls because there's like 30 people making things happen.
So again, I ask, what is their investment that they are coming undone about me telling the truth? Because now I have to take
the truth. How are you telling the truth? That doesn't make sense. Candace, you didn't show us Charlie's 15-year history.
Time and be Queen Petty and go through every single year dating back to 2018 to tell you when they got the events together, because I can do that. I can do every semester from 20.
Do that, and that might give you a little bit more credence, but I have a feeling I'll be able to find at least one event that probably took 2 months to book.
2018 until 2024.
We'll see if she does that.
What's the point here? I'm going to do it. Savannah, I'm sorry. We have to do this.
Okay.
But what are the
Hold on. She's going to do it, guys. She's absolutely going to do it. Let's see. I am going to go to X here on this. Let's see if she has done it. Oh, she's trending right now. Ooh, she's trending right now. What happened? Did she release some receipts? Never mind. It's all about the crap. Okay. Let's go here. We'll see if she's put out these emails. Here's her 3 minutes ago. Oh, okay. Okay, so she's live now. May be able to turn it to that here right after this. Ben losing control of the narrative. He's panicking. Okay. 2 hours ago, she retweeted that. Did she put out the emails? I don't see it. Nope, she did not put out any emails. So there's no emails available yet, unless they're under replies. Let's make sure. Let's see. Just jumping in. Okay, everything here is kind of her back and forth with Allie. Alexa Clark's comments about what is it about? To cut it all off. About her. Who's this? I think. Let me see. There we go. Let me tell you something about Mikey. I'm one of the biggest tenured employees. My boss. I don't remember this part. Not everything is Scooby-Doo movie and Absolute Cooks. Okay, I guess she trashes her a bit. Okay. I don't care about all that kind of drama. It's whatever. It's people arguing over stuff, and none of them have evidence on either side. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think we ought to just jump right into her current live stream. Oh, it's coming up. Okay, we'll still go through the rest of hers. I was kind of hoping it would be 6:15 p.m. God, that's an hour away.
Acknowledge, but I assume there are non-disparagement agreements in place. I'm sorry, we have to do this. But what's the point of disputing something and saying something is not true when I just told you it's true and I showed you evidence that it's true?
You didn't show evidence. I mean, I guess you could call it evidence if you want. You showed some nuance. You showed us 1 month out of 15 years. That's all. So show us more proof.
You're not even saying
proof.
You're just lying.
Or show us a bunch
at that
more
point.
evidence.
You're being extremely dishonest at the very least.
No, she's not.
To make a video and say he's not becoming Catholic. That's not. He was a committed evangelical. Say I don't know. Just say I don't know. Why are you?
Why don't you say you don't know either, Candace? Because you don't have any proof he was either. You showed us that he put on a Christian cross, not a crucifix. And you showed us that he had an affinity for St. Michael, who is an angel, not just for Catholics. You know? Hey, you know what's funny? You know who else knows about St. Michael? You're gonna love this, Candace. You know who else really likes St. Michael? The Jews. They also really like St. Michael as well. It's a weird thing, Candace. I know you're probably gonna have to completely denounce everything involving Christianity now and Catholicism. Because guess what? The Jews also really like St. Michael.
Making these videos.
Crazy, right?
I actually do know, and I am sharing information that I know because we deserve answers when there are strange anomalies. Now, is it possible that somebody knew somebody and made a phone call and made it happen? Yeah. But we, the public around the world who don't trust what we are being told.
Hey, if you guys are new here, please hit that subscribe button and like button. That's the best way you can help me out, guys. Thank you all so much. And to those who have super chatted too, thank you guys so much as well. Genuinely appreciate that. That was a very nice thing. I didn't expect you guys to do that.
Would like to know who that somebody was that made that event come together very quickly, faster than I've ever seen an event come together, given how universities act with hostility toward conservative groups that host a lot of people, which is what Charlie was, who Charlie was as a person. He was somebody that was met with hostility by administrations when he went there. Okay.
Yeah,
because
he
it
was
meant
also
there were
met
gonna
by
be
his
protests.
hostility.
They will burn
in
you
other
in
ways
effigy, as they did
from certain people.
to Michael Knowles at a Turning Point USA event. So there has to be certain parameters that are set to allow these particular events to happen. But I appreciate you sharing your experience. And the next time Taylor Swift tweets about her experience, I'm gonna just be like, not true. Not true. Taylor Swift is like, I can't walk into the mall. I'm like, me neither. That's not true. I walked in. No fans ran up at me, Taylor Swift. So obviously Taylor Swift's lying because it didn't happen to me.
Yeah, no, that's a stupid comparison. That's completely, totally stupid comparison. Because see, you're given the nuance of, well, this is your experience. Well, my experience was different. Yeah, Candace, your experience was different. So why should we believe that Charlie Kirk didn't have a different experience from you as well, seeing that he did it over the course of, yet again, 15 years, and you did it for 3, but altogether, the equivalent of like 144 hours, which is literally like less than a month's worth of work. So I don't know. I don't think you're an expert on this subject either, as to how TPUSA booked these college campuses. Anyway, guys, hey, I'll be right back real quick. I got to grab a bottle of water and probably grab my dog. I think he's making a ruckus downstairs with kids. I'll be right back. Just like literally 2 seconds. Ooh, I am back. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. If, you know, Hassan Piker, I said the P word there again. I can't say that word on stream for some reason. Well, I don't know about stream, but definitely not in videos and stuff. For some reason, his last name is not allowed. Anyway, you know, don't leave the video playing and walk away. You know, copyright. You don't want to do that. Although apparently he can get away with it. Good job, Twitch. Piece of garbage.
As Justin Bieber says, it's not clocking for us, man. Anyways, It is weird to me also that when you look at what they focus on, it seems so petty.
I don't get the references, Candace. I listen to music. No, anyway. No, it's all music. It's all good. I'm not an elitist.
But then they look over all of the glaringly obvious lies that were being told about this investigation.
Gatekeeper,
like, they're not making videos going, oh, hey, yeah,
I guess
spoke to like 10 hunters and a 30-06 should have decapitated him.
No. Nobody went up there and hit him with the 30-06. It was a round, Candace. Again, they make 55 grain coyote shot for 30-06, all the way up to 225 that could literally put down a bear. Which one was he hit with? We don't know. I'm guessing that it probably wasn't that. So you keep saying that, and this is what makes you look dumb. If the court proves exactly what it is that I'm saying, that it was like 25 or 55 grain coyote shot, if they actually come out and say that, right, it's going to make Candace look so unbelievably dumb. And I really kind of hope it happens. Like, if she is wrong, right? I do hope it happens because it's going to make me laugh to, like, in the degree that, how wrong she is. Obviously not for what happened. That'd be awful. So maybe I shouldn't say laugh in the same sentence as all that, but just saying, you know.
They don't care about any of that stuff. So, are you doing this because you care about Charlie? Are you doing this because you care about the investigation? Because if you're going to investigate, investigate.
She's going to think
okay? Send me a text message and ask me a specific question and say, where'd you get this information from? Join the team of people.
I actually think you're onto something, Josh. I think she might use that. She may be like, well, why did Air Force 2 come? And maybe what did they do whenever they came and picked him up? How did they interfere then? You know, it wouldn't surprise me.
People online who I never knew before this, who are investigating this murder and using sources, do that. Either join us or get out of our way, is what I would say. Because if you're not going to make a video, or you are going to make a video about a glaring obvious hole and then just poo-poo it, which is kind of what...
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, maybe maybe they have like, I don't know, the 100 grain or something. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, we're not going to find out what was used until the court. And I think the court will actually show the casing. And if they show that casing, because apparently the casing had stuff written on it, we may be able to see on the bottom exactly what it was. You know, maybe anyway. There's a chance. Who knows?
Allie did regarding
If they
the
don't
Fed
show us,
Discord
then,
messages. I watched a clip. She like softens it and
I'll
says,
give some credit to
well,
Candace,
even
that
if these
maybe
are
she's
written by
right.
the feds, I still think he was murdered.
But it would still be a maybe.
By Tyler Robinson.
Okay.
Okay. So you're willing to what? Give grace to the feds when they're maybe lying?
No. No, it's not about giving grace. It's about there's evidence right now, Candace. I don't know why this is so hard for you. There's evidence right now to show what most likely happened. And are you telling me that the angle that he was got from at the roof, and like, was the roof well guarded? No. We see that. Are you saying the angle was bad? There's no way somebody could say the angle was bad, right? Like, everything about it's correct. Now, the only question people have at all is if the round was too powerful or not. That is the only question. Because, honestly, people tried to say, there's no way they would have gotten him from that slope. Are you kidding me? 200 yards away? That canopy didn't come all the way down at that angle. It's very possible. I think very easy. It's not like he was that crazy high up. And from 200 yards back, you're gonna see a lot more of the field. I don't think it's that crazy.
But you can't assume that I'm telling the truth about my experience having worked with an organization and
exactly,
the
Josh.
actual evidence that I have to back up what I'm saying. You have no grace
Same
on the
with
matter
Ben,
of whether or
yeah.
not he might have been getting curious about Catholicism. Is the goal?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he got curious about Catholicism. Are you kidding me? Like, I can look, Candace, as an artist, look. Okay. I love guitar. I love metal music and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean I just stay in the metal, okay? I learned from a lot of different areas, from jazz, which is kind of my least favorite these days. I used to like it a lot more back in the day when I was playing saxophone, but for guitar, I don't like it as much. And my music tastes have changed. I love folk. I love old folk music and stuff. And like Finnish folk music, stuff like that, of different regions, you know, Indian folk music, Japanese folk music, all that stuff. I love that stuff so much. That's a real deep, integral part of my musical, not prowess, but like, of my musical abilities and whatnot, my musical interests. And same with Japanese folk metal or Finnish folk metal, Winter Sun, stuff like that, right? Incorporating all that. Same with classical music and classical metal. Neoclassical metal, all things like that. You all have heard Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Is that not awesome? Of course. So why wouldn't Charlie Kirk be the same thing about different sects? YouTube. Don't blurt me out, you know. Blip me out, blurt me out, whatever you want to call it. Why wouldn't he be interested in that? That sounds fascinating, probably from someone like Charlie Kirk, who's very wealthy. Sorry, guys, I didn't want to cough into the mic again and blow your eardrums out. You like jazz? You're a bass player, though? Well, yeah. you kind of got to like jazz bass. The craziest bass comes from jazz, usually. You know what I mean? Or, you know, stuff like that. So you're probably a big Guthrie Govan fan, I take it. Something like that. But, you know, yeah, that's one of those things that, or Victor Wooten, probably. If I had to guess. Victor Wooten's way more bluesy than anything. But, you know. Gotta love those guys. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't he be interested in Catholicism, Candace? Of course, he's probably going to have questions about it, traditions. Maybe he applies a little bit to his own life. Because, you know, so there are those people who are strictly death metal. That's the real metal. There are strictly evangelicals out there that are, this is the right way. The Baptists are wrong. The Seventh-day Adventists are wrong. The, what the heck? My page just crashed. Great, YouTube. Thank you. Don't know what that's about. Did my live stream crash too? I hope it didn't crash. Really? Let's see. It didn't crash. Okay, good. It's still live. Oh, did you guys, okay. There we go. Well, that sucked. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway. There are metalheads out there that are straight. This is my point. There are metalheads that are out there that literally are just like, no, this is the only way. And there are evangelicals out there that are like, no, this is the only way. There are Catholics out there that they're, you know, like, this is the only way. Charlie might not have been that way. And I can understand. He's probably, he was super into the Bible. That was like his thing, you know what I mean? That was probably his hobby and everything. was studying this, doing, talking to people about it and stuff. That was his passion. I have no doubt whatsoever that Charlie Kirk probably would apply a little bit from every different little version of Christianity into his own life, especially if it made sense and made it enhanced his own experience. Things like that. Oh, this is a cool little prayer to St. Michael, maybe from the Catholics. Maybe that's where she's getting it from. Oh, yeah, they do this rosary meditation thing. That might be good for me for sleep before bed. It's not necessarily that he's converting to Catholicism. Oh, bluegrass. Yeah, I love bluegrass. It's so good. So good. Though, man, I really want to do like a cover of a metal cover of a bluegrass song because they play so insane. Like, they're so skilled. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. Something like that. But huge fan of Muse, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Why wouldn't he do that, Candace?
To tell the truth, okay? Why aren't you guys doing shows if you're so interested in debunking lies? Have you done a show about Josh Hammer? When we drop a text messages, did you do a show and go, wow, Josh Hammer really lied about Charlie Kirk's mindset?
He really
Because it's starting
lied.
to feel a little bit like propaganda, and it's the worst type of propaganda to me when you cage it as like Christians shouldn't or Christians should. I'm investigating this. I care about it. And it is my perspective that if you're in my way, I'm just going to breathe fire and expose the truth. When I say breathe.
Okay, you can't just call people out because they're standing in your way, per se, though. Some people are standing in your way to try and get you to slow your roll just a little bit, maybe with like the finger pointing, because I'm standing in your way of that. Absolutely, proudly. It's like, hey, TPUSA is behind this, but you're not calling out Erica Kirk at all. And it's weird because some of the stuff TPUSA has said is like Charlie Kirk left us all these diaries and stuff. That's something his wife would know 1,000,000% if he did or not. And she hasn't said a word about it. But you will not criticize her at all. So it's like, yeah, I think you are getting way in over your head, Candace. Because if you're so adamant about pointing your finger towards them, and yet you're not even trying to question Erica Kirk whatsoever, to me, it's weird. To me, that would be very, very weird to do. Because she is leading TPUSA. And you're saying TPUSA did it. How can you separate her from that, Candace? How is that possible for you to do? Really shouldn't be. That's why poking holes in everything you've said, especially about meeting Kanye and stuff, is so easy.
Fire just means showing
Because you
the
don't
truth,
think before
showing
you
more
speak.
truth. I'm going to pull up, like I said, every email so that there is no debate or dispute about how long it takes for these events to go together.
For some reason, she thinks converting to Catholicism means that he would have been anti-Israel. Like, it gives her more credence. It's kind of like the whole, like, look, Charlie Kirk sent me the messages about him having weird dreams about him not living long and stuff, that he was going to, lose his life in a really big way. To Charlie Kirk is coming to me in my dreams and telling me information. She did that lead up so you would believe her more. She's saying, oh, I know these things about Charlie. He was actually going to convert to Catholicism with us. And, that's why I can also say, and she kind of even proves it a little bit, which she didn't, because he didn't have a crucifix on. He had a Christian cross on. And she was like, see, he's talking about St. Michael. Like, that's something only Catholics talk about? That's weird. You know what I mean? So she's trying to pull people in to be like, see, I got these little details, and I'm proving this. I knew more about Charlie than everyone else. I know he was leaving the Israeli cause. And it's like, actually, there's not any evidence that he really was leaving the Israeli cause. He made a comment that he may leave, but there's no follow-through. And there's no lead-up before that at all either. So those things combined, man, my pause game be on point today, I guess. Those things all combined, though, it really pokes holes in Candace's story.
Okay. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
I don't love the crickets of these things.
Erica.
Also, I will also mention that Allie has strangely hired Alyssa Cordova, and this is just not a match for me. Alyssa Cordova was formerly the PR person, head PR person at Daily Wire. And when I tell you that this woman is evil, it's hard to put into words the things that she has put people through, and she does it for the sport of it. Like, she's one of these people that keeps a folder on her desk, and she intentionally has out of context clips, which she then sends to people.
Sorry, guys.
A whole little orbit of bees online, like Ian Miles Chong, who's like a despicable human being, and says like attack.
Yeah, we can agree on that. Ian Miles Chong, the guy who flashbanged Andy Worski. Well, he didn't flashbang him. He swatted Andy Worski, and because he got mad at him, and his dog got flashbanged and died, unfortunately. And he tried to get Andy Worski killed. Yeah, that's a guy who lives over in Taiwan, or is it Taiwan? Malaysia. He lives over in Malaysia. He's never been to the United States before. And Elon Musk allows him to post all this United States news on X and has never once, like, looked into any of these claims. It's crazy. Ian Miles Chong is a horrible person. He also stole a bunch of money from the Quarterings charity. Okay? Most of you guys probably know the Quartering. Stole money from it to buy an e-thought. Not even kidding. The guy is a despicable human being, but I don't think Candace will actually say why he's a bad human being, because it involves both of those people.
This person. And she'll do this, by the way, even if you're working with her.
She did a follow-up with the name
will
drop of
undercut you and
Mr.
do these
Beast.
sorts of things. And so when I see this kind of turn and I see that
Really?
Alyssa Cordova is working with you, I'm wondering if this
Which
is just
video?
kind of like Zionist nastiness. I think I've been extremely gracious to the different perspectives that we have. If we are all committed to truth, we are obviously able to debate. And I'm happy, by the way, I'll add this as well, to have Allie or Lila Rose on this show tomorrow, if you guys would like to debate what I have presented thus far, in addition to me telling you how Turning Point USA operates their events. I'm happy to do that and bring the evidence of what I'm saying. That always stands open. You will have a platform if you are committed to truth.
Yeah, straight up.
My
Stole
platform is
from
your
him.
platform. Now, speaking of
If you ever get the
PR
chance,
and
like
people who should maybe
I don't
get
know if
into
you're in
it,
the Discord or not, but you
Alex
should try to
Clark
ask
needs
him
a raise.
about it.
I don't even know what she's doing over at Turning Point USA. This gets back into
He might say something about it. I
Erica
don't know
Kirk as the CEO. We watched her lie, okay? We watched her lie about the Catholic thing. We're supposed to just feel good about that and think that she's traumatized, but she wasn't traumatized when she wore boots and stood outside for Wall Street Journal to click a picture of her a couple of days after Charlie died. I don't know. It feels like she was good.
No,
she's a star now and tried to hard launch her podcast. She actually tweeted a couple of things the last couple of days. Dripping with anger towards people that are asking meaningful questions. Here's one thing she wrote. Let me tell you something about Mikey. He's a mate. Just kidding. She didn't say that. I'm one of the longest tenured employees now at the organization. And Mikey has a servant's heart. If ever I've seen one, you know why he went to Korea and Japan? Because my boss, our productions director, who is the father of 6 children, asked.
Yeah, I could have told you why you went to Korea and Japan, but I can't say it. I was gonna miso.
Asked him to.
He went there for some
He's
miso.
always traveling with me a good portion of it, and he missed his kids, and he asked Mikey to please go and film instead. Okay, I'm just gonna say, I think he probably went to Japan and Korea because it's an awesome opportunity. I don't know. I'm just a person who's been around a lot, and if I said, "Hey, do you guys want to go to Japan?" Hip hip hooray! It's amazing. It's not exactly going to build.
How would you possibly know that, Candace? How could you possibly know that? This is why are you even talking about this, really?
The house.
Why even say that?
What is it? House for Habitat, Habitat Houses, whatever it's called, House for Habitat in the middle of the jungle or something like that. I think this is a pretty exciting opportunity. And so I don't understand why we just can't get basic answers about Mikey McCoy that would allow us to just move on from how we are feeling about his behavior following things and the things that were said about him following things, which make us feel like they were priming him to take over for Charlie. And we heard these things from his father. We heard these things from people at Turning Point USA. And if you're looking for a fact, he took over for Charlie, who was slated to speak at Liberty University. Okay, that's just a fact. Alex Clark also threw shade at us, and it's kind of incredible that she said this working for Turning Point USA. Here's what she wrote. On every podcast tribute episode I did about Charlie, I did not run my ad sponsorships. My directive and choice to my team. We are now in debt to my sponsors. I didn't care. It felt like the right thing to do. Okay, so.
I wonder if she'll address that, because Candace sure ran hers.
Turning Point made something like $90 million in the couple of weeks following Charlie's death. I think I first heard it was 70 million. It's gone up since then. They were selling like t-shirts at the memorial event, like Freedom Charlie t-shirts. They were selling products. And she is, I guess, trying to imply that me speaking.
Did any of that go to a charity? What was it for specifically? Do you have proof that she actually sold them too? Because I would be interested in seeing, but at the same time, it's like, don't try to take the high road on this, Candace. You didn't stop your ads either. It doesn't make any sense.
About his death and running ads is problematic. Now, first and foremost, on our tribute episode, we ran absolutely zero ads. We didn't even let YouTube run ads on that episode.
In all fairness,
this is not a tribute episode. This is my podcast, and we're investigating this murder.
Obviously, I actually debunked Candace on quite a few things, like the Kanye thing, which is really dumb, and obviously the blood thing that I just showed today. So yeah, there's plenty of evidence to debunk Candace with.
And every person who is doing podcasts, whether it's Ali speaking about his Catholic journey, Lila speaking about what happens, whatever context they're putting it into, whether it's PBD and his team, which spoke a lot about Charlie Kirk after he died. Why are you looking at me as being the person who's reading my ads?
Because you're finger pointing, Candace, with no evidence. That's a bad look. Let me explain it to you in a way you can understand. So you come out and you start finger pointing at people with no evidence because you feel suspicious, quote unquote. And then you're saying things don't make sense without actually proving if they make sense or not. And then when people say, actually, Candace, it looks like you're wrong, she goes, well, prove me wrong. But she didn't have to prove that these people are doing weird things or that they're doing things that don't make sense without proving they don't make sense. So that claim's valid because she said it first. Well, I said that Charlie Kirk could dunk a basketball from a 12-foot, whatever, basketball goal. However, I'm not a basketball guy, just letting you know, but he was. And she's like, he could dunk that easily. And it's like, oh, okay. But any proof to it? Nope. I saw him do it like 3 times. Oh, weird. And Charlie never mentioned that, huh? No, but yeah, I saw him do it. Just trust me, Okay. I guess we could do that. But at the end of the day, you're like, well, people have to debunk it, that he didn't do it. It doesn't make much sense to say. You know what I mean? It just genuinely doesn't make much sense to say that. Like, I made a claim, but you have to prove me wrong after I've made the claim. That's crazy.
Are you pretending you made some huge sacrifice because for a couple of episodes you didn't run ads? This is what I mean. There's just so much inauthenticity coming out of this company right now. I'm such a good person. Look at me. Like, I didn't read ads on 2 of my episodes.
Well, thank God you didn't come out and tell people you're a good person, Candace. I'm sure all the kids you doxed will thank you.
But I did do this Wall Street Journal thing and try to hard launch my podcast.
Social autopsy.
A couple days after he died. But look at me.
She doxed kids.
I declined to do. What was the total amount that you postponed, by the way? Because you didn't decline it. You postponed having to read ads and said that you made them up later. It's just there's something that really bothers me about this.
Why?
They're angry at people who are investigating Charlie's death and catching them in lies.
No. They're angry that you're literally saying TPUSA did this, Donald Trump did this, the FBI did this, Egypt did this, Israel did this, the college campuses did this. It's all the finger pointing. And they're like, Candace, what the hell? How could this possibly be happening? That's why they're mad at you, Candace. It's very simple.
She's mad because she lied about me on her podcast, and I called it out. Okay?
No.
If you don't lie.
She knew. If you lie about anybody on the internet, you better believe that person's going to call you out on it. And she would have known that. If she lied, she would have known you were going to say something. She's not mad about that. That's silly.
Lie on me, I won't have to call it out. If you don't tell lies about things that took place, about things that were happening at Turning Point USA, at the reason why Charlie wanted a Doge as she did. Oh, we do this no, you don't do a Doge every year. You want to know how I know that? Because Doge didn't exist before Elon Musk. So it's like, what are you saying? They want us to pretend we're really dumb. And it's emotionally manipulative for them to be like, that's how you honor Charlie. Pretend to be an idiot. Pretend to not know how accounts work.
I don't think they've suggested
Pretend to not know what it means when we say certain things and then change our stories multiple times. Pretend like it.
Candace, your story has changed multiple times. Their story hasn't changed per se. What are you talking about? Like, that guy that said that his son was covered in blood, you know? He saw his son down there and he was covered in blood and whatnot. Who knows? He may have just saw the other guy that was covered in blood and thinking his son was down there helping and stuff. And, you know, who knows? It's a traumatic event. But that's really it, right? I think that's it, that when it came to stories changing, was a nuanced story of him trying to paint his son as a hero. Not like his son came out and said it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't heard anything else that's actually genuinely, like, changing their story. Because the other situation she's saying they changed their story on was that guy having his fingers in his ears. But you can't see his top half at all. So I don't know where his hands goes when they go up. And she's like, they don't look like they're in his ears to me. So therefore they're lying. And it's like, no, just because they don't look like it to you, you can't tell where his fingers are. It looks like it to me. It's really dumb.
It's just beyond the pale that Candace would suggest that we're engaging in a cover-up. Yes, I did say that. I didn't say that Mikey murdered Charlie Kirk.
No, but you said he engaged in a cover-up.
In a cover-up because that is literally the only reason that people lie. Anytime you lie, it's because you're covering up the truth.
TPUSA's involved in a cover-up. So where's Charlie's wife in the mix? Where's Erica? It's weird that you think Erica's not part of the cover-up, Candace. That's weird to me. Why would you think like that? Why wouldn't you suggest it? That she's part of the cover-up? Why are you treating it like she's not part of it at all if TPUSA's behind this? Erica is TPUSA. She's the biggest part of it right now. The only reason why people would tune in. If Erica decided to stop with TPUSA, I don't think it would exist anymore. I don't think people would be interested in watching. Unless they got some other really name brand, like big named people in on it.
Engaging in a cover-up, even if it's a white lie. Even if I say, you know, I'm trying to surprise a friend for a birthday party and I tell her, I'm the only one that's going to be there, meet me here. It's a lie because I'm covering up a certain truth, right?
Okay.
That is what lies are for. There is no other reason to lie unless you're covering something up. So when you lied about the Catholicism thing, it wasn't because you murdered.
No, you've never proven anything with Catholicism whatsoever. You've never even proven that.
For Charlie Kirk, Alex, it was because likely you guys were more concerned with your Christian Zionist donors and also pressure from your Jewish donors. And so you just lied to cover up the truth about where Charlie was at.
I'd like to know
USA is telling a lot of lies. They're engaged in a cover-up. I said it. I am putting my name on that. I will not be apologizing for what I said.
Candace, do you know how hard you will get sued if that court case comes out that Tyler Robinson did this? Like, you actually named, you didn't name the government. You named a private organization and defaming them, and you're openly saying that they are covering this up without any proof that they're covering it up. Like, that, I think, is actually genuinely a lawsuit that she will lose. I don't think she would be able to wiggle her way out of that. That's really dumb. She better hope that, you know, because they're not going to do anything until after the court date comes out. And that it's public information that, hey, this whole court date, a court exonerated us completely, obviously. Because if they find Tyler Robinson guilty, they're going to have no reason to believe that TPUSA would have been behind it. And then TPUSA can use that court case against Candace.
Forth with the truth or don't. Okay. And if you don't, we're just going to keep investigating.
Really dumb idea.
And see how you
even
feel
if it's true.
Take a quick break and I'll get to some of your
really
comments.
Dumb idea to,
All right, you guys.
I don't want to read your comments. Really, really dumb idea. Even to do if it's true and you really, truly believe that's true. Kind of a dumb idea in general, in my opinion. So anyway, what are you guys doing? Before we get to Candace's upcoming live stream, we're going to, where is it at? Because we're going to watch this. There we go. His feelings don't care about the facts. So do we have a countdown? Can I pull up a countdown? If the countdown's up here. Dang it, I wish I had like a bigger countdown. Come on, YouTube. Give us what we want. Anyway, I'll have it right here above my head so people can see it. Let's see here. Ben, I pray that she gets, right? After she's getting sued, she will try to dismiss the case. Yeah, and pretend that she never did it. I just hope she doesn't come out and go, well, we'll get discovery now this time, and then try to dismiss it again, just like she's doing with this current case. Yeah, like, I'm going to probably make a little bit different of a thumbnail. What do you think, guys? Think you all want to watch and see how ridiculous I make thumbnails? Or like the ridiculous process I make a thumbnail with? Because she's saying Ben Shapiro is crying. So I'm going to just kind of change the stream to, let's get a good, let's see here. What's a good picture here of Candace? Something that I haven't used yet. Let's see. That's a good one. Too many shadows. I don't know if I want to use that. What do you guys think? Her stream's going to start here in 20 minutes, or yeah, like 15 minutes it'll start. So, this will be interesting. Let's see. I got to get this all done within then, because I just want to change it up a bit. I could use this. Nah, I don't like that. It's her stream and all, but man. Oh, this is a good one. I like this. Kind of doesn't look like it, though, from that side angle. So, I don't know. Maybe, I choose this one here. No, that's really low resolution. Wow. This one? No, that doesn't look much like her either. This is good. But look at that low resolution. That's a bummer. Very low resolution images. This might work. Oh, very low resolution, too. Crap. It's hard to do this. See, this is what I have to go through, guys. So, doing that with Candace there. This would be a great one. But that's, why is it so AI enhanced on the hair? Look at that. It's like there's no separation. It's like one solid piece. The skin, like somebody definitely upscaled that. Oh, I like this one. That's a good one, I think. We'll just like take this, I screenshot it. And then I also need to pull one up of Ben Shapiro, who also notoriously just does not have good resolution pictures at all. I'm going to have Grok help me out here too. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay. Has she up, let's see if Candace has done anything before I close out of this. Fun evening for show. Okay, 40 minutes ago. She hasn't done anything yet. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to say, make me a YouTube-sized thumbnail of a green and purple neon lit city scape in the desert. Maybe. I don't know. There we go. I just come up with random crap. So check this out. Yeah, this might blow your guys' mind. Oh, that's a cool one. I like this. Okay, here we go. Screenshot this. And then I'm going to show you guys a cool tool here in Paint. Because I did it with this. See, I just make like random things and then I'll just like kind of paste this on over it. Yeah, zoom in more. And then I'm just going to take Candace and I'm going to do this. I'm also going to flip because I need her to be in this side because there's a nice little timestamp in the bottom left corner. So if I put words on the screen, it will not show up all the words very easily. So the words have to be on the left side. So here's Candace. Let's see. I'm going to put Benny Boy Shapiro. Oh, I probably should have put him first. Dang it. Maybe. That's an image. And we're going to do this. Bam. Oh, that's the tool I'm talking about. You just click that and it gets rid of the background. Crazy, right? You don't have to select it anymore. Computer just does it for you. Crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to... Okay, so I want to put him here, but I need Candace to be more in the foreground than him. So I'll put him here. Look at that. It's a Jew in a desert. Okay, I'll just redo this. Flip. Do. And then, wah! I like to imagine she screams as I like just pull her over. Same with Ben. Not I'm picking specifically on Candace, but it's just I like to. I think it would be funny. Okay, there we go. Bam. And then you cut this right back up because for some reason it always adds more to it instead of keeping it within frame. Then you save as like Candriar Beniplis. There we go. I make up random names so that way, you know. Yeah, I forgot I still had Ricky died on here. That's funny. Oh, okay. That's good stuff. And then, you know, I could just take this and you swing this on in, and then I got to change these words to something like, I don't know, Candace, let's see, BLASTS. Yeah, I'm going to change the font on that. I'll bring it all down to one thing. If I make it short and sweet, it's easier. They all at 72, they're at 72. Then it would be Ben Shapiro. And then all the rest of this can just go and screw off. I'll just make that a little bigger. Ben can be in the background because, I don't know, people aren't going to watch this for Ben. They don't care. So, actually, you know what? I'll make this even a little bigger. Why not? Just. Okay. It didn't do anything for some reason. Yep. Throw it. There we go. Good Lord. Why is it acting so slow? Now it stretched it out a little too much. Is it on both sides too big? A little bit, yeah. Dang it. No, stop. There we go. Okay. Well, dang it. It did not want to play nice. It went up instead of to the left. I don't know why this program does this. If I close out of this program and open it back up, it'll do just fine. But I just need it to do the job like right this second. Come on. Yep. Why is it snapping to the grid? I'm holding control. It's still snapping to the grid. What's going on? What the heck? Do I need to get out of it and do this? It is trying to snap this to the grid for some reason. It's not listening to my keyboard anymore. Yep, I don't know why. Okay. Be fine. Maybe the control button over here? I don't know why it's doing this. Wow. Thank you so much for... Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna... Maybe if I exit... Okay, if I exit out of that, it's working now. That's weird. I don't normally have to do that. Very, very weird. But now it's just working. Oh, it puffed it up when I clicked that. You gotta love this. Sometimes working with software like this is just annoying, but... Okay, now it's gonna do it gradually. Finally. Ugh, that's all I wanted. There we go. Now it's at the right spacing. Then I just named this Flippy Dipple or something like that. Boom. Save it to desktop. Go down on that. And then I will bring back up all this. And hope that Candace's stream hasn't started yet. Yep. And there you go. Now you see how I made a thumbnail. So there's all that. She hasn't started yet, right? 12 minutes. 12 minutes left, guys. And then we get in on some Candace action here. So what do you guys think? Boop. What do you guys think? Good looking thumbnail? Pretty good? Pretty bad? I'm not good at making thumbnails at all. This is literally how I do it. So, Rhonda, Candace is doing her show today. It just started, or it's starting soon. Yeah. I'm pulling that sucker up here in a second. I'm going to try and shift this over. The narrative of this video over. Let's see. Oh, it has the name. Okay, that's great. I'm going to refresh. And then, this Owens Goes off. Then, what would be the best way to do it? What do you guys think? How should I title this? Candace Owens. Maybe I'll just say BLASTS Ben Shapiro. I don't know. I'll just do the same as the thumbnail. Why not? Something like that. Faithful. That would get a lot of views, I bet. That's very funny. Flippy Dipple here. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, that's very, very funny though. I like that. That's a great idea. That'd be the ultimate way to just trick people into coming right on in. People would definitely be like, wait, what? We gotta see this. I bet a lot of people would buy it. What the? Did this not work? Did it not change it? Come on. Like, that is crazy. Let's see if it changed it at all. Candace Owens, BLASTS Ben Shapiro. Yeah, it did on YouTube. It changed it. Rumble really needs help. They really need help. Badly. Oh, man. Okay. Awesome. Ben's facts hurt Candace's feelings. I don't know. Because Ben, he's not exactly what I would call a truth teller, per se. He's, he has his moments where he does good, and then he's got a lot of moments where he does really bad. They're both garbage. Honestly, all of them are. Candace, everyone involved. Well, not everyone involved in Daily Wire. I like Matt Walsh. I think Matt Walsh does it pretty good. Shapiro gets... Candace, that's funny. That is very funny. Gets blown by her live. Alrighty. Apparently, she's notorious late as well, but hey, I can't say anything. I'm notoriously late. Also, MAGA is dead. Look at all of them, like, cheering that on. That's Candace's fans. Or bots. I don't know which yet. Candace doesn't seem to suspect Erica. I think Erica is shady. You have to. You have to, because she's saying TPUSA did this, Let's see, leak. So, Ben Shapiro, YAF launches smear campaign against Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ben called out all of that. Charlie Kirk and Candace and whatnot. Man, look at all these people. She made $15,000 in super chats last month. That would be insane. Like, just super chats alone, and she gets all those sponsors. Man. That's crazy. Yeah, Ben is the new Kanye. I don't know about that. I mean, look, I'm not a big Kanye fan. That intro that he does for her here, pretty sick. Pretty sick intro. Sounds very Evergrey-like. But, yeah. Crazy stuff. Let's see. MAGA/Mega is growing, and Candace is Candace hates good things. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Good things don't pay her bills. Guys, you should know that. Good things do not pay her bills. 8 minutes left. I'll refresh, though, because you never know when she starts early. Maybe she'll start early. She's either going to probably start on time or, fashionably late. Hopefully I don't have to dip out early on it. I'm going to try and let her whole thing play through for the most part. But, I may make a few pauses every now and then. Hey, buddy. Can't be up. Can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. I know. Oh, boy. Yes. Here, go. No, don't step on my keyboard. That's probably what messed things up last time. Yep. Ah! Bishop, please. The keyboard, buddy. Thank you. God. It's like, my keyboard is literally, like, it's this small. That's how small my keyboard is. It's a very small keyboard. And this desk is large enough to have an 88-key keyboard on it, like a MIDI keyboard. Keyboard. I guess keyboard and keyboard don't work. I'll show you guys. It's like, boop, like a full MIDI piano. Like, that's how big it is. And he slaps that keyboard every single time. It's like, come on, man. This whole desk. Like, I know it looks a little messy from the camera's perspective, but it's really not that messy. It's a long table. So, you know, it just drives me nuts. Dog does that. Crazy stuff, you know. Kanye has been heavily abused by the Kardashians. They broke him because they want him to be in the conservative ship. Yeah, they want to control all his money. Same thing would happen with Britney Spears. Absolutely. I have no doubt. Hey, guys, thank you. I appreciate that, Desert. Definitely hit that like and subscribe if you're new here, guys. I really appreciate it. Am I at, I'm 2 subscribers away from being at 15,400. Be awesome to hit today. At 400 even, you know. I'd love it if I got 100 more subscribers, though. Wouldn't complain. Maybe a couple thousand more would, you know, be nice. 6 minutes left. Is there anything... Oh, I guess we could watch this real quick for this minute. Breaking, Ben Shapiro claims that real Candace believes that Erica Kirk was responsible. Did she really say that? Haven't seen her claim before, you know. They're like, Ben's losing control of the narrative. I think he's panicking a bit.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil, what she is doing right now. Okay? And I say that, again...
But what
because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Okay. Like I said,
I do actually kind of have to agree with Ben here because that's what I'm saying. Like, insiders of TPUSA. And then they make Erica Kirk CEO. And she's running the company and all for now. And then they're, you know, trying to get Mikey. Is it Mikey? That's the name, right? That they're trying to put in there to run the company. And faking journals, apparently, according to Candace. Faking journals that Charlie Kirk most certainly probably didn't write. How would Erica Kirk be blind to that? Why wouldn't she know about the journals, right? It doesn't make much sense, and that's the problem.
I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement. I don't have time to watch Candace's show.
I believe you. I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that when
what I understand
friendship
Candace
should not, in our business, I think it's important. Listen,
Candace
friendship
and I are
should not
friends.
trump.
We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way
Candace is morally wrong on pointing fingers because there's no evidence out yet.
Handling that, at least for me, is much different.
Yeah, it's a pretty evil thing to do,
saw things go south between you and Tucker.
Because here's the thing. Like, it's an evil thing to sit there and say these people are covering it up without any evidence, especially, simply because, man, if they're not covering it up, just imagine what it is you did. Like, that small chance that you may be wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy. Let's go Putin. What the heck? Those aren't her fans, probably. That's probably a leftist or something. Making fun of her. With Tucker, with Candace. Christ, this new age fallacy. Come on. Start up. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, guys. And we're going to see this whole thing here. Oh, she's going to go over that clip. Okay. Turn more lights about me. I also sat down and, well, it doesn't sound like she's talking about, if that's the only subject she's talking about, she's not addressing, any, what was it that came out? We were just talking about. My mind's all over the place. Oh, well. We'll see what she addresses today. If she's gonna, hopefully, oh, that's what I was thinking. Is she gonna address the, emails and the whole, or she just moved on past that about the whole scheduling of the college campuses? She may have moved on past that. Yeah, Candace is a far leftist for sure. Slander's evil. I'd say it's evil. You know, slander, defamation, all that. I mean, it's obviously wrong to do. So it easily classified as an evil thing. I'm getting, hold on. Let's see. How many, let's see. Oh, everything. Okay, yeah. Thank you to Ethereal State or Ethereal Shrine for saying that. That's nice. Okay. These are a bunch of notifications. Why did I have so many notifications on YouTube? Anyway, this should start minute 43. We're going to see some live Candace. And we're going to get to the bottom of this on what Ben Shapiro's crying again, I guess. Here. Crying like a little baby. We'll see what happens. Is this really all she's going to talk about, though? That and spreads lies about her? Didn't spread any lies. He clarified exactly what it was. Like, it's not like he just came out and said, she directly said, he said, he cheekily said that she's implying that Erica's behind this. And I wanted to say, I don't think Erica's behind this at all, because I think it'll really make her look dumb. Hey, what is this? Is this like a hand? What the heck is this? TPUSA is Israel first. What's with the cheese around it? Huh. Odd. I thought he was making something. Are you needing to go outside? You are, aren't you? Here, I'll be right back, guys. Oh, waiting for her now. Is it live yet? I'll be right back. I'm going to let him outside real quick. There we go. Woo. Alrighty. Now, is she live? No. Okay. Now we play the waiting game. Candace is a good reason to stay up past 7:30 p.m. bedtime. Well, aren't you the overachiever? Going to bed like that. Alrighty. Well, when all this starts, I imagine I'll probably get some more people in. I'm going to do one of these little goal things here. I'll just put a good old 45-minute thing on there and say thank you if anyone does. And if not, it is all good. I do not care. I care about subscriptions and likes, though. Those are what make me happy, guys. So if you guys could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Alrighty. Let's see. Candy. You set up the whole timer. I don't understand how someone does this for a living is ever late. How do you be late? You know what I mean? Every single time. I'm late because I have kids and I work a job. You know? I can't doing these streams it's really difficult, you know? I don't get paid to do this. So I have to do a job. How do you be late for your job? Because I'm not late going to my job. Here we go. Okay, finally. We are getting some static. Here we are. She used a lot of bots as well. Yeah, she does use a lot of bots. For sure. How many of them are actually bots? I don't know. I'm going to keep this chat up over here. Maybe since it's full screen, well. Huh. Guess I could set up maybe another display capture. Let's see. Display, let's see. Full screen that. Okay. I'll just do full screen like this. Camera above. Give it. There we are. That way people can, like, read everything here. And, we can all make fun of, some stuff together. That'd be good. In case it happens. Something funny happens anyway. It's not even as though she's really live, in your opinion. Yeah, I mean, it could be pre-recorded. I'm not 100% sure.
911, I want to report a blood libel.
She's definitely got the money for
blood
it.
libel.
Blood libel.
I've suffered a centuries-old.
I should probably let this, like, get further, because I don't want YouTube to, like, pick up that I'm, like, just immediately playing this right from the get-go. You know what I mean? So, probably give it a little space in between, because who knows how YouTube will view this. Like, I'm trying to watch it. I don't know how they do live streams of live streams, but, you know, we'll see what all happens here. Because I'm not trying to pull away from her actual live stream. If people want to go to watch Candace's live stream, go do that. I am here. Come here for my commentary on it. Okay? Because I'm not trying to do copyright infringement or anything. I'm genuinely trying to transform this content and give my own opinion. And, debunk anything she may say that's crazy or agree with her. There are times I agree with Candace. It is rare, but there are times it happens. So you never know.
Anti-black trope. That's how this works, right? Like if you're in the pro-Israel lobby and you deal with any sort of pushback or flack, you got to fall to the ground and cry victim. Well, it's my turn now, you guys, because yesterday, Ben Shapiro, who was invited as a guest to join Megyn Kelly on her tour, he pretty much just
put his knee on her neck. No? Oh, okay. Let's keep
goes
going.
mask down, and it's obviously hilarious. He just lies. It's so weird. He just has nothing, so he lies and tries to pressure Megyn to respond to the lies. All I can say is the pro-Israel lobby is down real bad. They're writing fan fiction. They're like, it's like Bibi Netanyahu fan fiction. And on that note, I sat down with a woman on CNN, and it went about as bad as you might have expected. Fantastic clips that are making the round. So let's jump right back into this. Happy Friday, and welcome back to Candace.
Alrighty, here we go. Wait, nope. Nah, I can't play that song. Derp. Kanye does not like it when you play that 4-second clip. They like to claim it. It's really garbage. Oh, muted.
Then it was the purest form of anti-Blackism that I've ever experienced. I mean, it's obvious to me that Ben Shapiro is manifestly insane. Last night, he was gripping the microphone as he would the neck of a black woman. I'm kidding. Obviously, those are not my quotes. Those are actually direct quotations from Ben Shapiro himself when he accuses others of anti-Semitism. Whenever he hears anything that he doesn't like about Israel, those are actually his words. This is a real live tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew who is pro-Israel of being Israel first is a pure form of anti-Semitism.
Well, I mean, Ben's an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, Jews are obviously going to be pro-Israel. It's, it'd be like Native Americans not being pro whichever tribe they specifically come from, right? I mean, obviously. But that doesn't mean necessarily that they're putting their tribe above the country. But some do. And believe me, they will tell you. And just like Israel First people like Ben Shapiro are, because he's openly been Israel First, I don't think it's crazy to see people calling him Israel First. Because he is. He openly has been. Now, if he's trying to walk it back, well, good luck. The internet never forgets.
That was directed at Nick Fuentes, which we'll circle back to.
Why are you defending
also,
Nick
this was a
Fuentes
real
on this
tweet directed at Ron Paul. Ron Paul is manifestly insane. As in previous debates, he is now gripping the pen as he would the neck of a Jew.
I mean, that is very funny.
Ron Paul? Really? And this is another tweet.
That is funny.
Perry had the memorable moments of the evening. Had the memorable moments of the evening other than Ron Paul's corpse leaning forward from the grave and strangling the Jews. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what to say.
He
other
might be
than
going a little nuts.
Ben is a funny guy. He is. He's never trying to be funny. He just is funny when he's being serious and he's being seriously angry about a topic. It's just something that I enjoy to watch. And last night, he got on stage with Megyn Kelly. She had a tour stop in Florida. And I want to say, I was kind of impressed with Ben because instead of doing his usual thing where he sends others to do his dirty work so he can keep his hands clean, he was like, I'm going to peer pressure Megyn Kelly myself.
I've seen Ben do that many times, Candace. What are you talking about? Like, man, my pause game be just on, isn't it? But for real, what are you talking about? I've seen Ben debate many people and really, really well. Ben is a very confident debater. Like, yeah, Ben's tweets there are completely insane. But here's the problem. So I don't know if Ben's joking or not when he tweets. Because I can't hear him speak. People think they understand the true meaning behind text. But they don't. They don't know what someone was thinking. He may have been smiling while texting that out. I don't know. I have no clue. But they are a little insane. I could definitely give Candace that one. But at the end of the day, to be like, oh, instead of him, he's going out and doing his own dirty work for a change. There are so many clips of Ben Shapiro debating people and slaughtering at the debate. What are you talking about?
Going to make her disavow me, make her disavow Candace Owens. I'm going to make her disavow Tucker Carlson by putting her on the spot and asking her to respond to things that Tucker Carlson never did and Candace Owens never did or said. And it's, you really get to see it masked down because you saw this narrative circulating amongst people who were just absurdly
it is funny, though.
Making claims that I attacked Erica. And I know what these organic movements look like. I know how they operate behind the scenes. And I know Ben plays a part in this. And so it was actually quite refreshing.
Well, as I was saying earlier in the stream, you kind of have to be attacking Erica when you say TPUSA is covering this up. Because TPUSA came out with their journals, right? They said, hey, Charlie Kirk was journaling and said the successor. Where would that put Erica Kirk, though? Wouldn't she have to be in on this, or at least being held hostage by TPUSA? I would certainly think so. You know what I mean?
For me to be like, now everyone gets to see what you are because you're saying stuff that never happened. So we'll start with what he said about Tucker Carlson.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna record this separate. So yeah, she's saying that she's not implicating Erica Kirk at all, which is kind of crazy to say because, again, part of TPUSA. And they have journals of Charlie Kirk that, has the succession of who's going to take over and what company, what parts of the company are going to be ran by who. And yet Erica Kirk never, ever, discredits it. So by proxy, she's either being held hostage or she's in on it with TPUSA involved in the cover-up. Why doesn't Candace, at all address that? How could she think Erica Kirk couldn't know something if she's pointing the finger directly at TPUSA?
You should know Ben has a real thing for Tucker Carlson. I don't understand it. It is just,
because he's,
I don't know, it's been going on for a long time. There's something about Tucker Carlson that gets under his skin. I'm not clear on it. I would actually love to hear Ben speak about that. I mean, people at the Daily Wire, when they're leaving the Daily Wire, have to sign agreements that they're not going to go work for Tucker Carlson for 6 months. It's strange. Anyways, he jumps into this.
Is it strange? Because, it wouldn't be that strange if you didn't tell Steven Crowder that he was full of crap about the contracts, right? Isn't that crazy how this comes around full circle? Ben Shapiro does these weird things where it's like you can't go work for people for 6 months afterwards after he fires you. Almost like the predatory contracts that Steven Crowder said were taking place there, and you said no, they weren't. Wow, Candace. So weird. Give another one to Steven Crowder, but don't apologize to him.
Explaining his upset that Tucker left him on red. I don't know. Tucker and him had a nice conversation on the day that Charlie Kirk died, and Tucker then sent a nice text because Ben had called him. And I guess Ben thought there would be more of a follow-up, and there wasn't. So here is Ben complaining about that and then spinning it into the accusation that Tucker Carlson...
You didn't really address the whole Erica Kirk thing hardly at all. You were just that's just ridiculous. I never called her out. And then you just glaze over what else Ben said, which, again, let me go ahead and I do want to pull that up. Let me get the full camera out. Let's go back to this again.
For example, Candace Owens with Tucker. Friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way of handling that.
I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that when
what I understand
friendship should not, in our business, I think it's important. Listen,
friendship should not trump.
Say this about,
we don't even know each other.
I understand, but even to speak out.
This is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yes.
So he's equating the two. And he should have chewed his words there a little bit better. He really should have. Because at the end of the day of what he's saying is, by proxy, he has to be blaming her because she's part of this. Has to be. And that's my position. So, knowing that, she just glazes over and goes, I never accused Erica Kirk, and then moves on. Good job, Candace.
Somehow supports Mom Donnie. I don't know. Take a listen.
So I texted him and I said, thanks so much for calling. It means the world. It truly does. Should we do a show together talking about the DSA threat, Democratic Socialists of America threat, and orienting in the same direction? Happy to do whatever it takes to bring everyone back together for the fight that matters. And Tucker then wrote back, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to spend the next week or two thinking about how to be most effective. The country is clearly on the brink. I reached out repeatedly after that. Nothing happened.
Okay.
And again, I thought it was a good idea at the time.